bet
hey.
you guys been wanting some of mine cake.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that okay. I'm being having enough cake for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have butt cake.
Butt cake.
Butt
Butt
cake being
cake.
the perfect sweet treat to eat, unless you haven't diabetes. Then maybe practice portion control and only be tasting the butthole.
Only.
Yeah, butt cake maybe being shaped like innards, but it tasting like greatness.
Oh, yeah.
Unlike big butt and you cannot lie, but a small but still very nice.
That's right.
So
Oh,
no
yeah.
more tossing salad lunch. Now we only be in butt months. Butt cake, yummy innards, greatness.
All right. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Butt Cake. Okay.
Butt cake. Let's fucking go.
What's up, everybody? Okay. Look, all right, Barfo, you got a point. We are 1 minute early. We tried to be on time and we misfired. Okay, we are. What is it called? Premature
Look, that's just
ejaculator.
Tim's. Yeah,
We
like that's Tim's
premature
MO.
ejaculate.
That's right. That's right. I come too early. Okay, over here.
I'm coming.
All right, and you're gonna be here to witness it. Anyway, tonight we got a guest with us, Kyle. Welcome, Kyle Davis. You guys might know him from the LP Alliance streams, the undisputed leader of the LP Alliance, Amanda Griffith.
God, Amanda's going to shoot me. It's not going to be y'all's fault. It's going to be my fault.
I did not know until I read the LP Alliance site that you're an aerospace engineer and computer
man.
scientist. Is that
Mhm.
right? The
Yeah.
fuck? All right. Big
Yeah.
time nerd.
Oh yeah, it's like I started my first company at 17 for web design stuff, and then went to Georgia Tech for aerospace and worked on a PhD under Eric Ferrone there.
Yeah.
Bailed on the PhD in the end because academics suck.
Yeah.
And my PhD work had been working with the government,
Oh, nice.
and
Yeah.
heard Biden talk in person one time, and that was like I cannot possibly do anything
Wait,
that could possibly help these people.
so were you doing government work under the Biden admin or Obama?
Obama, which is also terrible. He really likes bombing the shit out of brown kids.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
rough.
Tell me more.
Well, you get a Nobel Peace Prize if you hit enough of them. You have to get the high score, though.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that they measure this based on relative brownness. He was brown enough that they're less brown than him, so it's okay.
I see. Yeah, well, good to have you here. It's been a long time coming. I did try to stir up some controversy that you, of course, didn't end up seeing. But we had Adrian and Meredith on before, and Adrian says he's one of the only people that's banned on LP Alliance.
He's
that
What's going on with that, bro?
the only other one is Jeremy Kaufman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why Adrian?
I didn't make that decision. That is not me.
Well, you are the
terrible
undisputed leader of the LP Alliance. You should be able to bring him on the stream.
Yeah, you're the God King of the LP Alliance, I thought.
It's I'm afraid of Amanda. Let's be real.
Okay.
You seen her? Terrifying. Her hands are like blades. Her whole body's like blades.
Well, here,
She is a blade.
I'll let you have the honors here, Kyle, while we get things
Fuck
ready
you,
here.
Joe!
Thank you. There you go. No, we got some stuff to do. Boys, tell me how you like this one. We got some tradition to get into. All right. What are y'all drinking tonight?
Was that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire sound?
Shit from
What?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yes. It happens great, isn't it? All right,
Holy
Mitch,
fuck.
what are you doing tonight?
Well, I guess I'll start off with the lamest one because I got my real estate exam tomorrow, so I'm just drinking a body armor and I took a gummy. So you guys all have all the fun.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Thanks,
Josh, what do you got?
I'm finishing off the Dorado tonight, so hang tight
There you
for
go.
that. And, if we need to, I got the Widow Jane Decadence over here to keep the night rolling.
All right. Leighton, what do you you told me earlier, but for the show, what do you got?
Dabs as usual, and then I've got some mango juice with a splash of vodka.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fuck you, Trey.
Chuck
We'll
and
play-
Money is lying in the comments.
I'll get to
Shut-
that. Oh yeah, I'll get to that.
Lying. Blatantly lying.
I just have to say
Shulkin.
fuck you, Trey.
No, he's not lying.
All right. I'm drinking swamp juice. I got the Bacardi Limon. I got the green apple. I got the Mountain Dew. Swamp juice tonight. Kyle, you had some swamp juice. It was
I
good,
did.
wasn't it? It was
It was
great.
good. It was a hell of a lot better than that fucking fig.
That was still worth it, though. It was worth it for us. You got nothing. The show got $50. It was worth it.
Nice. It's I
Thank
mean,
you.
Yeah,
I took the fig a hell of a lot better than Rob did. So that was the goal at the time.
it was. I watched the replay because my wife was like, "Who are you guys having on?" I said, "Kyle." She said, "Who?" I said, "The guy who ate the fig." She said, "Who?" And so I pulled up the video, and she's like, "Oh, Rob is a bitch." I said, yeah, that's true. Rob will be on, yeah, Rob will be on later to defend himself.
I only a little bit
Eventually.
blame Rob for that one, man. Like that fig was it was nasty.
It's very rough.
Oh, I forgot to
but-
mention before the stream, my legs are still in pain.
From the fig?
No,
No, Tim and them will know why. I've been.
Yeah.
Yesterday was day one of training.
yeah. So
There you go.
at Grand Rapids, there's going to be a race. It's a 20-yard and 40-yard dash. But before said race, there's going to be a glizzy eating contest. Who can eat the most glizzies? And then we're going to have a 20, 40-yard dash race between Leighton and Rob. Who do you think's going to win? You can have different people for each one.
I got
still
Rob on
think
the
that
sprint.
We should do 2 shots of tequila and 5 hot dogs. I
Oh.
think that's the way that we should do it. That way it's easy because then we know exactly what we have to buy beforehand and go get and all that.
I got
Speaking of
Rob
eating
in the 20 and Leighton in the 40.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think Leighton's
Leighton's
here.
going
I
to
did
go long
too.
distance. Leighton said he had the opposite. Leighton says he can beat him in the 20, not sure about the 40.
I'm more confident
Rob ain't
now
tall.
in both.
Rob ain't tall.
I-
Top speed is not going to be Rob's thing.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Well, first of
Talking
all,
about Rob being
first
a
of all,
fucking short little hobbit fuck.
first of all,
Who?
welcome to the show, Duke. Been a while. How you doing?
Hey, boys, how's it going?
What are you
How are
drinking?
y'all doing?
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Pacifico,
Okay.
a nice Hispanic beer with lime because I'm a fancy bitch.
With or without
and,
ice?
Fancy hoe.
Yeah, you know what me. I got a cooler full of ice over here.
There you go. That was
Yeah.
a deportation joke that fell flat. But it's fine.
So how goes it, everyone? How's it going? Leighton, how you been, man?
Good, great.
It's going great. So what we're talking about is in Grand Rapids. Rob and Leighton are
Yeah.
going to have a glizzy eating contest. First off, who
What's
can
a
eat the
glizzy
most?
eating contest?
A quarter
You know what
pound
glizzies
beef
are?
hot dog from
You
Costco.
ever
Okay.
seen the Costco?
Thank you.
The glizzies.
Okay, so we're gonna have a glizzy eating contest first, and then
Okay.
a 20, 40-yard dash race.
Hmm.
Who's gonna win, Leighton or Rob? You've met both of them, so you know.
I don't know. Leighton's been putting in all that work, and
Yeah.
I don't know how much, Rob was able to grow his legs. So I don't know exactly how they're going to be able to make this happen.
The stride is getting him.
The stride is very important. So how far are we trying to race? A 40-yard dash?
A 20 and a 40.
and
Yeah.
a 40 and a 40. They're gonna keep going through the 20 to the 40.
Yeah, we're just
but
gonna
we're gonna
mark
clock both.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking horse race.
I think Rob can win the 20, but Leighton will have the 40.
Really?
Wow.
Smart money is all on Leighton for the 40.
Interesting.
My bad.
So you
Knocking
think
shit
it's
all
like-
over
I'll
the
say
place.
after consulting with, so basically what I have done is I decided to take things a bit more serious since I have some time before then. I reached out to a friend I used to know, a Mormon who I turned to the dark side of smoking marijuana and drinking coffee, who used to be a bodybuilder and a track coach here. So I have now gotten him to start giving
He's
me
gotten
tips
professional
and then
advice.
meeting up occasionally to actually run. So I'm
But
going. to do
bodybuilders
some-
usually don't run.
Yeah,
That's
but
like one of
he'll
their
fuck
worst things.
Rob up anyway.
He
Yeah.
did a specific type of like upper body, like the modeling stuff.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
wasn't really focusing on his legs, so he still did track shit. He did like cross country and crap like that.
Gotcha,
But he was
gotcha.
the
His
coach
legs
down
weren't
here for a
twigs. They weren't like those
No.
bodybuilders that have like the pencils for legs, but they got like the big old mushroom
I
bodies.
could find photos of him actually. Funny enough, because I know
did-
his.
Oh, yeah, let's get
his
this
name he
going.
used.
Yeah. He
Homoerotic.
didn't look
in
like
here.
Johnny Bravo is what Duke is really saying.
I don't
Probably a pretty
know.
good bet.
I don't know if there's a Costco in Grand Rapids. We will bring the Costco to Grand Rapids, but
There's got to be.
This is it. This is an interesting thing, though. Like maybe there's something we should add at the 20-yard dash, and then have another 40 at the end.
No.
All right.
You're getting a little too fancy with it.
I'm just trying to have a good time. Okay.
Doing it.
Sean asked earlier, who's going to vomit first? Listen, don't give away the game, okay? We're working on it. We'll figure it out. We will all learn together, okay? I'm going to get to all these super chats. I'm going to do them in reverse order, though, just because. Ronan says, Tim's keyboard, take a drink. No, I will not spill a drink on my keyboard again. I cannot afford this type of mistake anymore. It's not going to happen. Okay, so we'll address this one here. Shelly was banned too by you guys. Kyle says not true, but before that, there was another message that said she got banned from the Discord for calling Harding a faggot. So is she banned or not banned?
She is banned from Discord, not from any of the live stream shit. That is a totally different thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. Because what we were talking about is Adrian and Kaufman are banned from. Who came to that decision and why?
I have no idea.
You run the majority of the streams. No one came to you and said this is why.
Devin was the original producer on all the things. Like they started to stream stuff before I was there.
So Devin was the one who did it.
I have no idea.
Well, Devin
I have no idea if it came down to Devin or if he was part of it. It's,
so why can't we change it?
Yeah.
The general thing is like every time I've asked, people are like, "He's too toxic. He's just too toxic." And it's like we've said we would have Angela McCardle on. We were not going to have Adrian, but
yeah, I think it's hilarious. I think sometimes he crosses the line, but I find that entertaining, and so you know. All right, I won't beat you up too much about it, but we did talk about it, and I told him that I wouldn't have you on unless you guys had him on. But then I remembered that I also told you that I would have you on if you voted for me to be the LPGA convention chair, which you did, which is totally not a bribe. But I definitely had to pay you back. So
I did more than just vote for him. I convinced other people to vote for him.
This motherfucker. Hold on, this motherfucker.
Can make fun of the photo I sent you on Discord.
Okay, yeah, I'm working on this because look at this motherfucker. What are you doing, bro?
This?
What are you talking about? What am I doing? I work.
What is this?
This isn't the Chase Oliver campaign, Kyle. We work around here. We do things. We show up late to podcasts on Tuesdays sometimes because our clients need us to chat with our bosses.
I've seen your work with the LNC. You don't do things.
Well,
I vote against everything your people stand for.
LNC
That's what I do on the LNC. Anytime your people want to do something, I vote against them. That's what happens with me on the LNC.
That makes him a perfect LNC member. Don't do anything unless it's absolutely necessary, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you know what? Here's the thing about being on the LNC is I don't like it, and I don't want to do it again.
I love it.
And I made the mistake of doing it the first time, and I encourage anyone who's ever thinking about doing it, especially on your side, Kyle. Join the Democratic Party. Just join the Democratic Party.
What the hell is my side?
Party. I don't know. I hope you guys.
You showed up late. You're being so aggressive.
I'm drinking. Because I got put on the spot immediately. That's what happened.
Yeah, because you're
This is the guy I've got to compete against.
You've shown up like fucking James Bond in your suit, man.
Rob,
Clayton, you're gonna get burned.
in the race.
I couldn't
you're
hear
gonna
you.
get
What'd you say,
burned.
Kyle?
It's turning the freaking frogs gay.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's why your voice was changed. That's why I couldn't hear you. Rob, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking swamp juice.
Hell yeah, brother! Cheers.
Well, hang on. You might not like it.
I'm not spitting it out.
It's swamp juice light. It's
Jesus.
it's Mountain Dew, but it's this Mountain Zevia with some vodka in it. So
That's not
Just
fucking
like-
Mountain Dew then.
it's Mountain Zevia.
That's like
Mountain-
that's like saying vegan ice cream. You need the ingredients of Mountain Dew to be Mountain anything.
It's
I
not
agree.
Mountain Lightning. It's not.
You
I
know
agree.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
not fucking.
I
It's
agree.
like Costco brand.
And I have Borgore. I have
It's a
Oh,
burger.
Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's eating Zevia and Borgore? Who is this faggot?
Who are you trying to fuck right now?
Well,
Rob
I have to
plugs all of
balance
his
out.
seatbelts in his
Hang on.
car when he
Let me turn you
drives.
guys up. You called me a faggot a little too quietly in my ears, and I think I got turned on a little bit. So let me.
Who are you trying to fuck right now that you're eating all these fancy foods and drinks?
I
Duke.
know.
Cousin.
Duke.
Duke comes on one show and Rob shows up in a suit. Look at this shit.
That's right.
It's an
He knew.
important.
He, had a,
it's
he
an-
could sense it.
we
Yeah, I
have
know.
we have our adversarial podcast guest on. We have a competing podcast on, and we have Duke. I have to be in a suit.
Wait, which one is adversarial and which
Wait,
one's competing?
Which one am I?
The one
Yeah,
that put me
right?
in slow motion all over Twitter, calling
Oh,
Chase
okay.
gay. That's the guy who's adversarial.
Okay. Listen.
I did not do
I
that.
like you.
He
Kyle,
didn't
I
do
like
that
you.
though.
We've met in person.
Fakertarians did that. I'm pretty
fine.
sure.
Okay, so can we set this straight? You guys had nothing to do with that?
No,
No,
we
Okay, all right.
You should have thanked
it blew up on Twitter, so we saw it, so we commented on it.
Blew
That
up
was it.
40 likes blowing up. Not really. Didn't really blow up that big.
It got a shitload of shares.
I did.
All right.
That's
I'm
how
gonna-
I knew about it.
Orthodox.
But
Yes, good deal, LP Alliance and all that. But you were here first, okay? You think I don't remember, but I remember, and I see you over there all the time, and I never see you here anymore. I remember, okay?
it's because I give
Nice
love,
getting y'all.
Yeah,
not just hate. You haven't even asked me what I'm drinking.
I did.
What? We're
Did I?
21. We're 21 minutes into this. You're probably roughly 15 minutes in the show, and we haven't got.
What are you drinking?
I've got Hibiki 12.
Biggie 12. What the fuck is that?
Bam.
That's the Japanese
Sometimes-
whiskey.
Hell yeah. Sometimes you need a discontinued Suntory Harmony competitor.
Is that shit that Bill Murray was selling in that movie?
Hell no.
I don't know. That
Hell
sounds
no.
like
What Bill Murray sells is mostly his friend Dan Aykroyd's crazy ass Crystal Skull vodka.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Great
it's not very
bottle,
good.
though.
It sucks.
No.
Yeah, the bottle is good,
like
but
a
the
conspiracy
rest
theory.
sucks.
as well.
It's fucking. It's a $40 bottle of vodka. Like, who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah.
I'm just
Uh,
I'm
really
disappointed. I would have hoped that would have been better. It better if it was going to be vodka from that guy. It better taste like it's from out of this world, like some Men in Black alien shit.
I have two small things. The first one is I sent you on Discord, Tim, a photo of the person who I said was is going to be helping me out with our little competition. And
Okay.
then, secondly, I also.
Oh
you
my
guys were
God,
on the
do you
topic
jerk
of
off to
people
this?
banned from LP Alliance. No, that's just the photo I knew that existed of his bodybuilding stuff.
Jesus.
So I grabbed that.
If we're talking about the Tiffany
Uh,
Henyard image you just put down, I can neither
That's
confirm
not it.
nor deny.
Are you talking
I
about?
know you.
Are you talking about me? Are you posting a body image of me right now, Leighton?
No,
Are you trying
No.
Jesus Christ!
I'll
I'm
show
not
you.
No, this is the
evil.
guy
What the
who's
fuck?
training Leighton.
I don't know
Rob,
who
I
I want
wanted
to put it
see
next to.
Fat fucking naked hobbit.
Put it next to me, man.
I'd
You
go
want
on
it next to
porno.
you?
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
extra
Rob-
photo. That's what
Rob,
Rob looks
I just
like.
want you to point out, I'm starting to regret siding with you in this, just based on what you're about to see.
Yeah,
But-
that's not the guy I'm racing. I'm racing fucking Leighton. Do you see
right.
Leighton?
Yeah.
Great point. By the
See what
way,
Leighton's
Mitch,
gonna look
you're
like in,
putting
like,
too
Our
much weight
champion
on my
right
side.
here
I'm
has-
still the
speak-
underdog. There's a reason I'm getting help.
Because
Guys,
you need it.
He's
What?
got Mick in his corner.
guys, I'm not gonna say anything more about this race, other than you already are making a hot dog eating competition before the race to make it fair for Leighton. That's not.
It's not to make it fair for Leighton. It's to make one of you throw up. That's the point.
I figured that was the point. That's
Yeah.
why I said two shots
yeah.
of
That was
tequila
what
as
your
well.
conclusion you came to, Rob? That's crazy.
Dude, look, hey, if you guys disagree with me that that's not a clear advantage for Leighton, then whatever, that's fine. We can agree to disagree. But look, I will swallow wieners like
Gaslighting
Chase
never happens in
and
this
Josh
Rob.
Blanca. I will swallow wieners like Chase and Josh all fucking day, and then
I get drunk into this.
20-yard dash, a 20-yard
Love that
dash,
It's a 20
Yeah,
and a
you
40.
20 yards of cock.
20 and a
Fuck.
40 at this. It's a 40-yard dash, guys.
Yeah, but you might lose the first one.
Yeah, you might.
I might
20
lose
yards.
the hot dogs.
Well, before
I'm a
you
little
before
worried.
you got on, the rest of the room was pretty in agreement that you would actually lose the 40 because your legs are too small.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and Here's a question.
I hope stuff like
It's in Michigan, right? The race is in Michigan.
Right.
Do they sell 40s in Michigan?
I'm
Good
sure
question.
they do.
We got some Michigan people in here. Let us know.
You can
I
chug
have
a
a
40 while
photo
running
next
the
to
40.
Rob somewhere in my photo gallery, and I've got to find it to show the height difference.
Rob,
Substantial.
like we met in person. I
tall
like you
are you,
too, but
Rob?
like it definitely makes like the Mr. Krabs walking sound when you go around, man.
Kyle, I don't think you've ran in over 10 years, dude.
run every day.
Do
I'm just
you?
also fat. I do. Let's see.
Not working.
It's working fine. I'm still quite strong and quick.
This is
I'm just
why
also
I think
fat.
Rob came into things so strong. It's because he was under the assumption that because I was big, I don't move around, and I am the opposite kind of fat. I am a functional fat. I walk every day and run all the time. So it wasn't a scary thing for me to take on. I'm just going to have to turn up the training a bit.
I'm not saying that you're not a functional fat, and Kyle, I'm not saying you're not a functional fat. And you guys can
saying?
believe the same about me. I am also a functional fat at this point
No, you're
in
not.
my life. But
you're not.
yes, I am.
What?
You're a
And
dysfunctional fat.
like no, I'm not a dysfunctional fat, Josh.
Josh, you stop harassing.
He still
my
has
client.
legs.
Is
They ain't had to
Yeah,
cut
they're
anything yet.
short and stumpy.
I will
Is the tire
reiterate, I am a quick motherfucker. I played all sorts
You
of
run
sports
like
growing up.
Dexter from Dexter's Lab.
Dude, I run like your mom does from like safe
My
fucking
mom can run
marriages.
better
Get
than
to
you.
it.
I bet you
There
if
we
I
go.
put my mom in a foot race in your ass, she'd beat that ass.
I will burn your mom, dude. I will burn
My
your mom.
We're not talking about what
Smoke
you'll
your
literally do.
ass.
No,
Yeah.
She'd
Threatening to
laugh
give your
about
mom
it while she
chlamydia.
did it.
No, this is fine. This is fine. I'm not gonna say another word about this. You guys can think what you
I
want.
know. You
I'll beat your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're cute in that suit. You're cute in that suit over there, big boy.
Dude, I will race in a suit. I will find a very nice suit to race you in.
Oh, why can't it just stay like this? This is even better. All right.
Hey,
Anyway.
speaking of a race,
So,
imagine
speaking of
that
Hector.
that governor race that actually you never ran, Hector. Fuck you.
Rob's giving it to everybody tonight.
Rob
he needs
is
a couple
mad.
drinks.
Anyone can
What
get it.
happened at the office?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rob, do you need a hug?
No, it was a good day at the office. I had a couple drinks with my boss after work. I think that's why I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in hot. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
You just
Ruse
need
is
a
attacking
blowjob
me in the
now.
X comments at this point too, going on about how he got kicked off of the podcast, and he did.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask. You were mentioning banned people and stuff.
He's not banned. He was allowed to come back on
He's
then
not banned, but he was removed. Why?
Goddamn
why
right he
was
was.
removed. What's the
because he
context?
would not shut the fuck up. Everyone's sitting there. Everyone's sitting there and trying to have a discussion. He's just like full blown autistic reeing, and it was like, Hector, stop. Hector, stop. And after like literally 45 minutes of this, it was like, okay, you're done. And we kicked him off, and then he just kept going in the comments, and it was like, Hector, man, you just have to let someone else talk ever.
You, as a moderator of a stream, you do have a powerful button. It's a mute button, and you can shut.
I
him up.
did mute him, and he started complaining in the comments saying that his free speech is being taken and that he's gonna just leave.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's there. It's
You
all
sense
fucking
like
stream.
people.
Rob, were you
What?
or not? Rob, Ruse, were you drunk? Hector, were you drunk? Is that what's
Hector was
going on?
outside.
He was outside yelling.
Yeah.
He was trying
It's,
to get the cops called on him.
He's got to be fucking careful because like he's within the 100-mile border.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they come after you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where I was gonna go with that. You threw me off. So what are you guys beefing out about right now? Is it LNC shit? Is that what's going on?
We got a bunch of stuff coming up. The biggest thing that we're working on right now is the like protest this summer. Because like right now, like the No King shit has a ton of fucking left-wing money behind it, and they're not saying anything, right?
Yeah.
They're out there like screaming, and they're mad and they want to do something, but no one's like directing them.
Yeah.
So we've been heavily like, what we need to do is get behind, get out there with like libertarian messaging, and let everybody know that this is happening, and get everybody out there to push libertarian shit. Because then when the news shows it, it doesn't matter if they're all far left.
At some point?
Yeah. Don't ignore him. He's on the
Okay,
phone.
well-
I'll mute him. There you go. Keep going.
It doesn't matter if all the money's left wing and all the left wing people want to do a thing. If we
Yeah.
can make that fucking straight up libertarian, that's just a win for us.
I had a couple thoughts about that. First off, these people ain't gonna fucking turn libertarian just because you
We don't need them to.
Second part, I don't know that this is a long-lasting movement. I was talking to my wife about this morning because, like, we had all these. I remember back in my day, it was Occupy, there was the Cop Watch, there was the March Against Monsanto people. All of these came in waves, like one after the other, but none of them were long-lasting. There was a core group of people that were trying to organize the things locally, but it was these big movements that had like a big flare-up. And I kind of see No Kings the same way.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, so like, why even bother trying to infiltrate a movement that's going to disappear tomorrow? It was an opportunity of convenience.
Because look at how shit our marketing is in the LP. Our fucking marketing budget's like 28 cents.
But
so we
it's
can
not
sit out there
fair.
with, and they're paying for fucking signs for everyone to make. They're paying for all the shit to stand out there. They have no like coherent ideology. They're like totally spread. So if we go out there, hell yeah. I said the same word Amanda did, and that means I feel smart. It's if we go out there and we push an ideal and we push an ideology, people do things. I mean, like, you guys are all Mises Caucus. You guys didn't have thoughts. Come on.
What? Come on.
You guys are sitting there. Yeah, you guys are sitting there in a field grazing like cattle. Yeah. But yeah, like, when someone comes along and gives you a direction, the people who actually do care about a direction follow along. And at the end of the day, the No Kings people, a lot of them are like libertarian folks who just don't know that we exist. Not all of them, not even half of them, but it's enough of them that like we can get out there and we can get people in, and then we can turn this gigantic ass movement where the news has got cameras on it. And like, this shit's gonna be in, I mean, like, Occupy is in textbooks already. This is gonna be in textbooks. And so when they show pictures and everything, and there's Libertarian Party signs up, and the Libertarian Party is slamming it.
That's the part I'm not buying. Mitch, you're muted. You have to come off mute.
Funny story about that with signs showing up and things. Josh, you know all about that from the anti-mask protests here in Florida and our Mises Caucus signs showing up in the anti-DeSantis attack ads.
Oh, yeah.
I still have those ads saved.
Yeah.
The difference, though, is when the head of the party, or like the LNC, for instance, so like blame Rob again,
Yes,
don't go out of their way to back this thing from the party level. If we throw out like a press release to people, and we have like this going out to the news that like, that's us, we're there, then suddenly like we have gained all that power. We have gained all that free money and the publicity and everything else. It's like the reason not to do it is mostly black pillery. And like, if you're black pilled, that's fine, but why are you part of a political party at that point? Right? Like, there's plenty of other good shit to do if you're black pilled. Like, fucking go have sex. There is no reason to be fucking out here whining about libertarian shit if you don't care about it anymore.
Yep.
There is someone that will lay you.
That is something impossible for Mitch to do. But, you know, Kyle, I'm mostly in agreement with you on, you know, just getting out there in publicity. Like, if that was a motion, I would vote for that.
There was a motion for it, and the LNC shot it down.
You didn't call Rob. You have to call Rob.
Yeah, you got to call Rob first off. Second off, I'm not buying it. Kind of like Tim said, we've seen this shit come in waves. Occupy Wall Street, the Tea Party, fucking months. It goes on and on and on. There's always something. Like,
every one of those got shut down by one of the big parties. We never claimed them. None of the parties they're actually is organized, you can call us, but ever got behind it.
I get what you're saying, but the problem is you know, kind of like the issue you're stating here is that there's no ideology behind the movement. The people behind the movement have no ideology, and they don't want any ideology. These are faithless, like, just nihilistic people. They don't care about shit. They just want everybody else around them to be just as miserable as them. You know, like,
you confuse the podcast with real people.
Well, let me build on that.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Let me build on that. I'm going to throw Chuck's message in here because I was trying to read it earlier. There's a message for them. They want their king. They just don't want the MAGA king. Cheers. I want to build on that, and I want to say, what is it about the New Kings or No Kings, not New Kings? What about the No Kings movement do you see as attractive? Is it just the money? Is it the fact that it got so much publicity? Like, what is it about?
And then Kyle, as a sidebar, correct me if I'm wrong, but we made fun of on this podcast the No Kings protest for having just very little old people at these protests.
True.
It's all old white Democrat liberals.
Yeah, so touch on those two things.
I mean, like, I was in Atlantis. I didn't see anybody over 50.
Mm-hmm.
There were over 5,000 people.
Atlantis is not a real place. Who were you talking about?
Atlanta is what he meant.
Yeah. He was in Atlantis.
Atlantis, bro?
I don't know what to tell you.
He found the lost city. Here I was inside the Ricochet.
He was hanging with Donovan.
There's
a Moderado's protest.
I'm an explorer.
Okay.
Perfect.
But like the cops had to turn people away after 5,000 people got into the one venue, and like we had over 10,000 people show up at one of the locations in Midtown. Those are people who are pissed. That's more people than the entire Libertarian Party sustaining membership right now, standing in one place that has to listen to us fucking talk. You know why they had to listen to us talk? Because Chase Oliver was out there with a goddamn bullhorn.
Yeah,
So
but
I
what
want to
go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay.
No, go
well,
ahead.
I want to agree a bit with some of what you're saying, and then also some disagreements. I agree with you that anytime I see these protest movements pop up, no kings included, there seems to be single issues, especially within the libertarian framework, that we can sort of pull some of these people to the side on. And so I agree that's something that should be done. One thing that you said was that these people don't know libertarianism. I think, truthfully, I've been to a lot of protests, especially locally in Alaska and other states. But I think ultimately people do know libertarianism. They know the political party, or at least
they don't.
Right, and for the most part, they don't know the ideology. And so the concern there is they're going to create a version of ideology within their political framework that they're already in, aka mostly leftism or middle of the road sort of independent areas.
Boomerism.
Right. And so you're going to end up with a lot of people feigning libertarianism, but under the surface of their actual beliefs and their morals, they're not, as I think what I would be concerned with.
Nearly 3% of all of the U.S. showed up for the first No Kings protest.
Okay. Again, what evidence do you see that these people are going to...
What I'm saying.
Wait. Did you just say...
Can I ask a question real quick?
Can you repeat what you just said?
Almost 3% of America showed up for the No Kings protests.
That's
1 in 30
that's 1 million.
Americans.
That's 1 million people, right?
Okay, 1 million.
3
people.
million.
Oh, God.
9 million. It's 9 million. I did the math. Okay.
There you go.
Hey.
Yeah.
Look, we're not smart like you, Kyle. We didn't go get no PhDs from no fancy.
Me neither.
I'm not an
I'm a
aerospace engineer. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, it's fine.
I don't know. Like, how are they counting those numbers though? Are these like COVID numbers where if you're in an automobile accident, you died of COVID?
Well,
Like,
he was standing outside near the protest, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm fine believing those numbers. My point is, okay, let's say those numbers are completely factual. What percent of those do you think align with leftist political ideology versus a right political ideology versus a middle political ideology?
I would say 90% of those people leftists.
I'd say I'd be comfortable even saying 70, 60. Even if you said that, I think you're going to run into the problem I'm talking about, where these are ideologically captured people you're trying to move to a new political ideology, and they're all going to come in with ultimately their baggage.
But you're not trying to get them into the LP to be like permanent LP people. You're trying to get people who are pissed off and are willing to fight for changes you want to see right now. So by going out there and saying, these are the things we want to see, and doing it with the ones that they agree with, you can get them screaming the same things and scaring the shit out of people.
Oh,
At the end of the day,
crazy.
That just seems like another social club aspect.
It sounds like what the
oh my
Mises
God.
Caucus did 5 years ago. Rinsed, slathered, and repeated.
Yeah,
you
except
mean
for
what
the-
they
the
stole from Chuck
opposite.
Moulton, who took it from
I mean, I won't
all the
even
way back to Ed
disagree with
Clark?
that statement, but isn't it the same thing?
That part's fine. If the Mises Caucus had stayed nothing but a fucking a PAC and an activist group, that would have been great. The problem with the Mises Caucus that all of us have bitched about is that there's a difference in being activists and the party saying activism is good, go do activism, and trying to make the party activism. Those things are side by side and they're both important, but they're not equivalent.
I think you missed the bigger point I was making here, but that's okay.
I don't feel that I did.
What's the bigger point, Josh?
The bigger point is that everybody's got their own framework. The whole point of like the whole Mises Caucus takeover was that we all banded together under an ideology that we didn't feel represented us properly. And you know, the concern nobody here is talking about is that these people aren't just going to stay for a cup of coffee, get some short-term political gains for us. They're going to want to come in. They're going to want to shape the party in the image they want.
I think that's what Leighton was getting at. I think that's exactly what Leighton was
That's
getting at.
my ultimate point, is you're talking about people who are previously captured by an ideology. You're trying to basically re-indoctrinate them.
You're
People
not trying to
hate using this
re-indoctrinate
language.
people. You're doing search and rescue on the people who were there who agree with us, and then using the rest of them as part of an army for everything else.
But the stuff that they don't agree with us on
Search and
is
rescue.
like detrimental. It's
I
detrimental what they don't agree with us on.
I think
that and Josh.
It's an army. An army does what it's told. Those people are sitting there ready to destroy
those
us.
are not
So they do.
They're mindless automatons.
They're also getting paid by George Soros.
Mindless
We don't want
automatons
that kind of
also
money.
do what they're told by definition, because that's what automaton means.
Yeah.
That's what a robot is.
Okay, but why do you want them?
Yeah.
To do what
Because
you
at
tell
the-
them?
No,
So you're the
because-
king.
Yeah. Hold
No,
on.
I'm just-
I've still got the hat I've gotten for Amanda here. So putting on my Soviet hat.
Yeah.
See, this is the shit I'm talking about.
It's
Now
but
more than
again,
ever, I'm really
you keep
wishing I
saying
had-
that you're bringing them into the LP, and that's not the purpose. The purpose is to attack the things that are already fucked up. Exactly. Listen to Amanda. She's smarter than I am.
What issue are you going to have a coalition with these people on?
I mean, like, we already put out a thing on this.
Specifically.
You guys need
No,
to.
Kyle, hi, my name is Duke. We haven't met before. How you doing, man? I don't come around here very often, but I was here at the beginning. Question. Like I said, what is the coalition that you're trying to build? I haven't read anything that you've put out. Just give me one or two that you think
Sell
would
it.
actually, sell it to me, because I mean, you're trying to say like you're going to go in and you're going to like.
So one of the things No
You're going
Kings
to
has been
take
talking
over
about.
a Walmart freaking sponsored protest movement that pays people to go out. You're going to try and take them over. I want to know what you're going to you're going to have a coalition with them as. Like,
They
what are you
hate
gonna
qualified immunity. We hate qualified immunity. We don't fucking like.
do any of
certificate
them
of
even
need.
know what qualified immunity is?
Yeah, that's one of the things they've been talking about. That's
No
one of the things
kidding.
we heard repeatedly. Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about certificate of need problems, where like you can't build a hospital unless the hospitals around you decide that you need that hospital there. They're talking about that shit. They're talking about the fact that like we need private unions, which are a very libertarian thing, not public unions, not like the UAW and shit that's fucked up, but the private ones. And so like in those ways, even the people who were there who were talking about the public unions that we don't want, we have the ability to sway that narrative and talk to people and everything else. There's blocking charges. We can go out there and fight blocking charges. There's fucking there's so many things. Like Amanda's got a giant article on this. I should just link this article rather than attempting to repeat things we've talked about.
But wasn't the main thing they were out there for was immigration reform, and that was like the core concept of like the whole No Kings protest?
I mean, they're against ICE, yes, and the libertarian philosophy is also against ICE. We have things we have to fix before some libertarians be okay with that, because like the immigration getting the social services is a problem, but we're against those social services existing.
Exactly. But I don't think those people are. I think that a lot of these people would be perfectly fine with no voter ID laws in these states and having illegal immigrants vote in our elections. Not saying I'm here or there on that, but I think that's just the kind of people that you're trying to win over here.
So you've been to, I think you've been to at least 2 of the national conventions where we nominated presidents, right?
Yeah,
Or
I've been.
We
I've been
all
here
suffer.
since 2020, so I think 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought you were there for Joe's.
Yeah.
Got that.
So it's all right. Everybody's drinking.
No, yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
And no, Kyle, I think you're making good points as far as publicity goes. I think I'm with you. We need to get out in front of these things and be like, here's our stance somehow. But as far
Josh,
as
you don't even believe in the LP anymore.
my position is not that doing what you're saying is a bad idea at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that
I'm
my
not there
position is more of from an ideological position. We had no kings here in Alaska, and I attended one here locally to kind of get an idea of the people that were attending. I will say, in my experience, it was about 80% leftist, somewhere in that ballpark. I did see some RFK people that were independent voters. We have a lot of them in the state. I even
You already
met
said
one
leftists.
libertarian who was there.
Yeah.
You already said leftists.
You repeated yourself. It's fine.
I
Keep
think
going.
RFK bridged the
yeah.
leftist gap. Yeah, no.
No.
RFK.
Well, here
That dude is a
things
crazy
get
ass
fuzzy.
far left Democrat.
Yeah, he is, but he didn't bring
I
in those
agree
people
with
this
you.
term.
He did what he had to get in there so he could go crazy.
Far left. But because of his mining stuff he's talked about here and his fishing stuff here is very leftist. He's been anti-mining, anti-fishing all through my state. So I hate RFK for a whole slew of reasons. But I ultimately see the issue being that the negative side being more of an ideological thing, where if these people come in and listen, I mean, these are mostly young people. We've already sort of addressed that. And the problem with that is a lot of these younger people are college educated. They're coming from a sort of progressive Marxist view of a lot of things. And I think that
Progressivism is opposite of Marxism, but that's fine.
Well, I think I would agree with you until I meet a lot of the people that I've met fresh out of college here, and they tend to blend all of these things together in their own stupid ways. But
that's fair. But like Marxism requires conformity. That's part of the Marxist concept of unity, right?
Don't disagree with you at all.
Right. And so like you can't have progressivism inside of Marxism. That's part of my biggest critique, like for Hoppe. Because his ideology grows out of Marx and goes into the idea that communism would be great if you had a hierarchy. And it's like, no. I don't want any Marxism. Marx needs to go away.
So I am not a Hoppian. I believe in this guy from Alaska. So my ideology is pretty disconnected at this point from a lot of the libertarian hero figures.
We're not saying to recruit all of these people and bring them into the LP. We're not looking to bring 3 million people into the LP from this. We're saying that there is search and rescue to be done there, where there are people who should be part of the LP who are there.
Yeah.
And we could bring those people.
So do you not see a risk of subversion whatsoever there?
Right now, we are the risk of subversion. What are they going to steal from us? Our 7,000 dying members? Yeah. Our average member is like, what, 1,000 years old?
I assume a lot of the people involved with like LP Alliance and a lot of these groups would agree that the big thing is the party affiliation that ties it to ballot access.
Yeah, that's true. But like we've been watching, like the entire reason LPA exists is because a giant group came in that doesn't believe in ballot access. Like that was the biggest thing that people had with the MC, and it's not all the MC by far. But like McCardle believes that way. If you go talk to Clint Russell, he's that way. Yeah. You go talk to what's the dumbass out of Alabama?
I don't agree
Mike
with
Shaner.
either of them.
Well, no,
right.
I'm kind of that way too, just because of the amount of resources that we did spend on ballot access.
Yeah.
Just for it not to be worth it, and then the
39 is old.
I believe the libertarian parties all over the country should all be pushing for exactly what we have in Alaska, which is multiple choice voting.
Yeah.
And the system that makes it so that it's permanently we are on the ballot and you never have to fight for the vote totals at the
and
I will constitutional access like we have in Florida.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, Josh. We didn't have to worry about it because we do have constitutional access. That should be something that we push as a party nationally. But as far as spending $100,000 in a state where the affiliate's not doing shit, that's a waste of resources.
That's absolutely a waste of resources.
Being a waste.
But that's because the affiliate sucks. That $100,000 should be going to making sure.
Or the affiliate took its toys and left because they got voted out. Like a lot of these states happened when the MC took over. A lot, I think 7 states tried to hold their own conventions. Yeah, these people are people that need to be kicked out of the party and don't get a vote on the floor at the national convention.
You don't have to convince me that there's people on both sides. I don't really think of it as a side.
There's good people on both sides.
Who need to get gone.
There's good people.
There's good people. On
Whatever
both
side
sides.
Josh is on is bad always. Doesn't matter.
Oh, you know what? I don't fault Josh for anything he's done in the past, and I think he's doing good. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. I'm coming more into the Big Ten argument. I think you reaching out to these people in the No Kings has a place in the party. I think that us reaching out to like the decrim nature people or the pro-gun people, that has a place in the party. Those people don't really have a place in the party, and I don't think you're making that argument.
Which people have a place in the party?
The 80% of people will say that are involved in the No Kings protests.
Yeah.
Sure. But you can still use them as a gigantic tool.
Exactly. It's an issue.
They're out there.
But they stick around. They stick around,
That's
man.
why I used the word subversion. I was very particular in the word that I used because I understand the idea of a coalition, and I agree with all of that. My concern is that you have to look at the worldview and the ideology a lot of these people are coming in with in anything, whether it's a coalition or the party or anything, and you have to be concerned about that taking place. Subversion.
Political parties should not be doing single issue coalitions.
Yeah, it will.
Single issue coalitions are fine.
No,
big coalitions are bad.
I still
because
like
it dilutes the ideology. It dilutes the
doesn't.
messaging. Yes, it does because if I am a counter operative, I am going to weaponize every bad fucking thing that your coalition partners represent against you now. Oh, they like Marxism? Great. You like Marxism now. Oh, they want to tax all the billionaires? Great. You want to tax the billionaires. You guys love taxes. You guys want to tax everybody. Like, I can just, it's political spinmanship. You put it in the washer and you hit the spin cycle.
You went to the Republican Party and are against coalitions? Do you hear yourself? So you're all the Republican things I can now just say are you?
Yeah, Josh is for the big beautiful bill.
Yeah, right?
100%. Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Sean is sort of summing up.
Epstein didn't kill himself. In fact, he never had any clients.
Documents right here. They were on my desk. I'm going to release them tomorrow, showing that Epstein killed himself. It was a suicide. There is no conspiracy.
That's horseshit.
You're horseshit, sir.
I have a real test for this. We'll see. 3, 2, 1. Test commence.
You know, the things you do for polite society.
Oh, fuck you, bro.
God. Wow.
The things you got to do for... Hey, look.
Listen.
You got no tax on tips now.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Not
No,
yet.
you don't.
Yes, you do.
Not yet.
You got no tax on tips.
It's only if you make under $25,000 but over $15,000 and don't pay taxes for some reason.
We did it, and that's what counts. It doesn't matter all the
As somebody who has
don't
worked,
matter. It happened. That's what counts. We did it.
as somebody
It
who has
happened. It got
worked in
done.
restaurants,
We got a golden dome now. We got all kinds of money going to our greatest friend, ally, and partner, Israel, because they're our best friends, and they need our help.
Josh, this is hurtful for both of our souls. Stop it.
No, but it's good. It's good for our podcast.
It is good for the podcast.
It's good for the podcast. We're breaking into an entirely different audience that we didn't have before. They have a lot more money than libertarians do. This is good. I want Josh to keep doing it. I think this is good for the podcast.
You know, if you donate your money to the swamp, we'll make sure it gets to our greatest friend, ally, and partner, Israel, so that they can continue to get rid of those dirty terrorists.
These are my greatest friends and partners and allies here. Okay.
They wanted you to drain the swamp. We didn't drain the swamp. We want you to fund the swamp. We want you to fund it.
The swamp.
Yeah,
that's right.
No, but God, I forgot.
Here, let me jump in here because I think we're all
we spent on this topic. We're spent on it.
It's fine. I'm going to wrap it up real nicely for you. Okay, so I think we're all coming from the same place here. I think that there's Ronan brought it up earlier. The fruit of the poison tree. There's going to be a lot of people in this movement that are not going to be aligned with us, not going to be libertarians. And I hear your point and Amanda's point, really, because she just has her hand up your ass and making your mouth move. That's how things work. Yeah, I know.
We know.
Everybody that doesn't know us thinks that's real. Anyway, listen, I also hear her point, though, that it's not about bringing those people into the party. It's about building a bridge with them and trying to progress whatever common issues that you guys agree about. I hear all of that. Also, I did want to point this out, too. One of the partners of the No Kings movement, do you see this one here in the top left? Do you see who that is? Do you see who that is? This one right here? 5051?
Yeah.
That's
our
Tim's
favorite.
sock puppet account.
That's our favorite. Yes. If you'd like to post anything talking shit about communists on 5051's official X account, let me know. Anyway, so I hear all of that. I think all that is fine. I am worried that it's not going to pan out the way that everybody, or at least you and Amanda, seem to think it's going to pan out. I don't think that those people are going to become or adopt libertarian ideas. Maybe there is something that we agree on that we can get pushed forward, and I'm all for that. And so for that reason, I would say go for it, because at least you can talk to them. I can't fucking stand the stench of them, but maybe you can make it work, and that's good. And so I'm not going to get my hopes up about it. You were saying earlier that people who may be against this might be like black pilled or something like that they don't actually believe that it's not that they don't believe a coalition can work. They're just black pilled and the doomerism and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's the case at all. I just don't see it worth
They went to the Republicans, Tim.
Yeah. I'm not. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm the champion of this swamp. You watch your mouth.
Yeah, that champion's
no
got
title.
Listen, you son of a bitch.
Okay.
That championship has an asterisk on it. Magoo, you were drunk when you donated your points to Tim. You
An
were
asterisk?
to donate them all.
We're not litigating this again.
No,
We
but
need to defend the belt.
I'm not trying to litigate. I'm not trying to
Mitch.
litigate. I just have one more thing. I will say, Kyle, I do sympathize with you because I do a lot of work with Decrim Nature, and I deal with a lot of lefties, and I have brought some of them into the fold where I've brought them closer to the libertarian side of things, as far as free markets go, as far as not working with the state and compromising on regulating yourself. I have brought them closer to that, and it's not a bad idea, but it doesn't work all the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
God bless you for that, Rob. But nope, won't do it, because whatever that coalition or issue or coalition around, as soon as that's accomplished, they're going to go back to wanting to kill me and my family and put us in a cage and have us raped. So you know what? Fuck them and everything they stand for. They can suck my dick and get fucked. The problem is that we agree with 80-90% of the shit. But that 10-20% we don't is so vitally and fundamentally and essentially important to me and mine that it just completely discredits and devalues the other 80-90% that we do agree on. So, you know what? We can be cool until the revolution comes, and then shit can get weird, I guess.
Yeah.
True. I feel you there, too.
See, like, the thing you're missing on this one is we're talking about the revolution starting. We're talking about kicking it off.
Wait a minute.
We're talking about having the bomb explode.
What?
Can we get through? I'm going to get through the subliminals here. Are you saying that you want to use the automatons that are in this fucking movement to kick off said revolution?
What do you think army means, Tim?
I'm trying to read through the subtext.
Drugs is what that means.
There's a lot of Fed posting going on, and I want to make sure I'm hearing it accurately.
Speaking of Fed posting, this is the last thing on this topic. That is true. I do love a good Southern accent, but these lefty hippie women, I love a good lefty hippie woman. I do. I can't deny it.
Rob converting baby mamas.
That's
Rob,
right.
you seriously need to get laid. But it sounds like what you're saying is you're basically trying to get the proletariat to rise up.
I have no problem getting laid, Mitch. That's you. You have a problem getting laid. First of all, second of all, I do like lefty hippies. That's just like, what are you talking about?
Rob,
you like psychedelics too.
I call bullshit on that.
I do.
I call bullshit on that, Rob. That you have no trouble getting laid.
I don't have any trouble getting laid.
No trouble at all.
No trouble.
You just gotta give him. You gotta give him mushrooms first.
He's got a little trouble seeing over the bar, but once he sees, he makes it happen.
I had a little trouble taking the bar too, Tim. Let's not bring that up.
Well,
I think. Look here. I have a very nice lady I'm talking to right now, Mitch. Something more than you can say. Another one. Yeah. Look, guys.
What's his name during the day?
I'm talking to.
Her
too.
name is
I don't
Caitlin
always come on
Fisher.
here and talk about it.
It's Duke. Okay. guys.
I really wanted to bring up the whole
Duke
like
during the day,
proletariat
Lisa
thing.
at night.
Yeah, Rob, you got to put babies in them.
Well,
There you
here
go.
most women are
What I
left
do when
leaning
CD
anyway.
goes to bed.
Yeah.
Like you find a
hang out with
libertarian
Rob.
woman, they're very few and far between. Honestly,
If you would stop standing on the right, they wouldn't lean so far left.
That's right.
I don't even sit on dude. I don't sit on the, and that's the problem with the left. No, that's the problem with the left. You call me fat. You're calling me fat. Yeah, I get it.
I was saying they're trying to get away from you.
Okay.
Yeah. He was calling you
Talking about a
repulsive,
seesaw-
not fat.
I thought you were talking about a
It's
seesaw
totally different.
situation. A seesaw situation on a bad bench.
No, see, the seesaw situation's fantastic for fat guys. You sit on the one side and she's forced to come to you.
Closer to you, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Love it. All right.
That's the same reason
there's
you see
easy
people sitting on the
ejection.
edge of the bench. You just sit right in the middle of the bench.
So I'm gonna help
Everyone's
us.
I'm not taking advice from you, Mitch, Leighton, or Duke on how to
I
get
wasn't
women.
even trying to get at that. That was just
Hey,
supposed to
Chelsea.
be my way of bringing up the
I'm glad I get
Okay,
give
Mitch.
advice.
It's okay, Mitch. I shot first at you. I shot first at you. That's
You
fine.
you're not gonna take advice from me on how to get women?
There you go.
Because
Yeah,
Give-
Rob, you ain't got no women.
Jesus Christ.
Where's your lady?
Rob?
Yeah, where's your lady?
No
Is
that what you're doing?
shit.
One of the most
How you
entertaining
ain't got no
episodes.
bitches, bro? How you ain't
Yeah.
got no bitches?
Rob got no bitches.
Where's your
She didn't
bitches, Rob? Where's your
She didn't
bitches,
even
Rob?
kiss you.
Yeah,
She didn't even
Rob
kiss
got
you
no
back.
bitches.
I'm not gonna
Rob's over here doing
disclose.
dog.
Festus Romney. I got binders of women right here.
That'd be so cool if you had a binder right now. That would be great. Wearing that suit and everything, it'd be perfect.
Oh man, yeah.
Anyway,
No, we keep those under wraps.
Kyle actually has a binder on his desk. He just
I do. It's treasurer work, but it was too good a timing to not use it.
That's
Because
right.
you had to pay money for them.
Luckily,
All right.
I'm a poor farm boy, and she makes more than I do.
There you go.
Hey.
Well, hey, okay, so
Street went up.
we talked about the no king strategy a little bit. Here's something else I'm kind of confused about with the LP Alliance. Not a caucus. Okay, what the fuck is it then?
So it's a intercaucus coalition looking to.
Don't you read the
revolutionize-
fucking website to me? I want you to tell me.
Sure.
Yeah.
There is no leader group of LPA. LPA is set up literally such that there are open groups to do things, and if you want to help, you hop into those groups and ask to help.
There are no
And-
leaders. There are no leaders, but Kaufman and Malagon are banned.
That was a vote.
Okay.
By who? The leaders?
Yeah.
No.
No, just
Just
everybody.
membership. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just everybody. They all said "fuck y'all." All right. No, I'm making a joke there, but I'm trying to understand exactly what it is because, like, okay, I was trying to explain this. I had a long conversation about you with my wife. I feel bad for her. But I was trying to
me too.
explain. She asked me. She's like, "So
Hi,
what do
Brandy.
they do?" Yeah. Hi, Brandy. She's
Brandy.
like, "What do they do?" And I was like, "Well, they're kind of like a caucus, but they're not a caucus." And she's like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, you remember how like we used to make posters for Mises? Well, they don't really do that. They don't have like a slate of candidates. They don't really have like a whole lot of things they're trying to do. They just want to quote unquote make the LP better, make the LP great again." I think that's kind of the running motto. And so I just don't know what you mean by that though, or how you want to achieve that.
And when was it ever great?
Okay.
If you look
You
at
and Josh, yeah.
if you look at some of the things the LP's done, we've done absolutely huge things in the past.
Where's
we
your
just don't
bitches,
win
Rob?
elections.
No, sorry.
Those
Yeah.
are different things.
I mean, they did help get Ross Ulbricht free.
I mean,
Yeah.
we also were the driving force behind gay marriage and weed legalization nationwide. And we were the ones who got rid of the federal speed limit. We're the ones who put all kinds of power back in the states. We just don't win
Yes.
the federal elections.
So I don't know if I would give us credit for weed and gay marriage.
Then
Yeah.
you don't know
Yeah,
enough
we
about
were,
it.
yeah, we were ahead
Party?
of the Yeah, we were ahead.
We
of the,
were
we
literally
ahead of
the
time,
group
but-
that started it in Colorado.
Yeah, but
it was
there
the
were a
LP.
lot of other groups that played a big
No, there
role
weren't.
in all those things.
The protest that
The
started in
National
Colorado.
National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws for Beginners,
When
as
did
well
that
as
start?
Marijuana Policy Project, as well as many of these. It's not a matter of who started; it's who got the job done.
Yeah, those are libertarians working from the Libertarian Party.
Then why is this the first I'm hearing about this?
I've met a lot
because
of them
our
normal.
fucking
They're generally lefties.
So are the like the Libertarian Party is lefties. This is why it's so weird to me. Like, go read our platform. Our platform is that if you want to go start a fucking collective of like flower children in some little compound out in the middle of nowhere where you're all having like a gigantic orgy all the time, as long as you're over 18 or over the age of consent, whatever we want to call that, not get into that fucking discussion.
No.
That you can.
No. Yay, more Star Childs.
That's what the LP is.
The LP is
Like-
Star Childs. That's not a good
LP
selling
is
point.
yeah, it's not a great selling point for anybody.
Once again, why don't you guys just go to the Democrats? Why
Because
don't you
the
be
Democrats aren't
subversive
that at
there?
all.
Why don't you be subversive like that? Everyone who votes
What are you
Democrat,
talking about?
like all the people that are super queer and homo and everything like that, Star
Are
Child,
libertarians.
they are Democrats if they vote. They're not
generally
libertarians.
they skew
No.
more Democrat. Yeah. Like,
So
They're not-
what?
I know my little sister.
How
in the
many
crowd
people?
she
You
hangs
mentioned
out
it
with.
earlier. How many?
How much
members
data
are there?
analytics have you done on this?
How many?
Because
how
I'm
many
literally
members
on the
are in
LNC's
LP?
data team for this.
How many members are in the LP?
Currently, we're at like 640,000 ish. There are 7,000 who are
LP?
paying sustaining members. Yes.
600,000 paying members.
No. There's about 7,000 people who are actually paying every month. There are 650,000 registered libertarians who are still part of the party, and we have 1 million people ish who have been part of the party ever.
Okay.
Which is kind of why it's hilarious that the things are there. But like, you're talking to someone who literally goes through the L2 haystack data, who literally goes through the Aristotle data, and does that kind of shit obsessively, and actually has the like research engineering background to do it. It's whenever you hear the things about like LGBT, if you look at the LGBT support from the Libertarian Party, it's over 90% of us. We are overwhelmingly like,
We're all for that. What we're saying is the people who pushed for those things and essentially got the job done were the people who were more plugged in with the Democratic Party, or
And I'm just saying in general, people who are support all these things.
I was about to say we are not making this argument. This is between Mitch and Kyle.
Well, what I'm pointing out is the fact that the people who eventually got the job done with these things, they eventually went to the Democrats or they did something else.
No. The Democrats became afraid of what the Libertarians were doing because we were getting support. It's what we do over and over and over. We start to get a little bit of edge on something, and one of the other parties freaks out about it, and they do the thing so that we don't get to grow there. That's what we are. That's what we've always been, and we're really good at it.
Well, is it freaking out, or is it just these more libertarian
So you
type
just give all these other parties wins and don't take the wins yourselves.
We should be advertising the fact that we are winning, though. Like, the thing here is that...
I mean, this seems like Charlie Sheen winning, but okay.
You said they're all automatons. You're not going to get them to break their blue or red code. That's what I'm saying. Why are you not being subversive? Why are you not being subversive in the party that actually has a chance of getting an election?
I believe in this party having the chance of getting an election.
Yeah, but where is it going to? And how are you going to achieve that?
Go read our fucking manifesto.
But that's why we have you on. Listen, hang on.
Online like us
and being very condescending.
No,
I'm
no.
asking you a question.
Yeah.
I'm not being condescending on it.
I do want to.
Read my manifesto.
I don't think he's being. I don't think he's being condescending. Yeah, but that you are the spokesperson for the manifesto at this moment.
I understand. But you're talking about.
So is it?
Can you boil something down that's a book length down to one?
Yes, no, I hear where you're coming from. I do think we need to sell our wins a lot better, like you and Hector are saying. I did not know how much of a credit we are for the weed movement. I mean, weed's still not legal here in Florida, and the gay marriage movement. Obviously, we support that, but it's like, are you going to get our activists out? Our activists, not like people who are Democrats or Republicans, out for that shit.
We're looking as a party to get our people in and to get political things done. It doesn't matter who gets the political things done if we're forcing them to do it. As far as getting our people in, there are ways to do that we've been successful with in the past. Look at fucking Pennsylvania. When you start putting people in every open spot and you take every single race, Pennsylvania had more wins in 1 year under Jen Moore than the entire nation has had since the Reno reset. And it was an offer.
Kyle, and I appreciate all that, but I've been to several PA conventions. I was a former LPPA member, former resident of the state of Pennsylvania, and anybody in the PA out there will tell you with a straight face that, like, It's bullshit. They have a specialty law where they can shoehorn their candidates after the fucking whatchamacallit, the primary cycles are out, so they can figure out where there's nobody there or it's a
So
one
what?
person race. So what? These are constables. What do they do? What do they even
What do
know
the
them, they
police
don't
do?
shit.
You know how great it is to have a
constable
libertarian
is not
sheriff
the
that
police,
isn't going to
bud.
go arrest you for shit? It's
That's
great.
true, but like I think Josh is getting to like the dog catchers of it all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like
But
it's a
it's the
fancy
same-
title that doesn't do shit. I know
It's
two
the same
constables from
nonsense
PA who
that Mike
said they
Shaner goes
don't
on
do
about.
shit.
So what? That's one more person that's not fucking your rights over. And they would be if they were red or blue.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a few points here. I'm all for the us marketing our wins better from a libertarian perspective. I bring up constantly the history Alaska plays in that. Early people we got elected here in the libertarian banner, like
Oh, yeah.
Dick Randolph and people like that, and Andre
Right.
Moreau and these figures. But the problem I see, and I agree with you that like libertarians were instrumental in the whole gay marriage thing specifically. I know that's the one you brought up, but ultimately I think Sean is making some of the same points I was trying to make earlier, which is that a lot of these things, like the weed thing I bring up too, has an early on starting point here in Alaska where we sort of pseudo legalized before it was able to be legalized, because culturally there were a lot of hippies that moved down here and things like that. So I think a lot of these things involve parallel thinking, where if you have two movements that are fighting for the same cause, the reality is historically, unless you lay out all these paperwork in front of people and show people all these groups and their founding dates and all these things, the vast majority of people hear gay marriage and they think, oh, the leftists are the people who got that through.
But that's a
just the
failure on
viewpoint.
our part.
I agree with you. That's where we agree. I'm just stating the fact that the vast majority of people don't view it the way you're talking about it. They just view it as a leftist issue. Even
But that's
from the right
our
and
failing,
left.
and we've got to fix that. And
Right.
that's kind of
I'd agree
the
with that.
purpose of LP Alliance, right? Like that's why we have the Torch. It's a journal. It's a place where anybody can go post libertarian thought, libertarian argument, argue about things, see what everything's going on. We already have like 100 articles we launched a week ago where people are so excited about it. There literally wasn't a place where people wanted to publish things and talk about things. As far as Sean's comment about like the Human Rights Campaign, the Human Rights Campaign was started by Stephen Indian, who got his start with the NGL, the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, with the Gay Rights National Lobby.
I bet
You
their
know who started
uniforms
that?
were like so sharp.
Libertarians. Like every time we see these things, we've gone out there and we've gotten them started. We are the spark that gets things started. Our party needs to be able to leverage those things and say, we are the people doing things and we're the ones getting them to do things. If you want the fucking big parties to do things, you've got to come help us. You've got to give us money. You've got to do everything else.
Where do you fall on state independence issues like succession?
Oh, absolutely succeed.
Yeah. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we all agree on that.
Here, you want something to fight about? Libertarian socialist. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we can
I had
fight about
to.
that for a few hours.
Yeah.
I had to fucking like. So Hector Ruse asked if he's welcome to write to the Torch. It might end up in the argument section, but yeah, absolutely.
You hear that, Hector? Let her rip.
Now
That
the
printer
article
go
has to
blur.
not be ass. You have to actually
Hector,
write an
just-
article.
Yeah,
Which
just
is
share your
in English.
Substack article. Just share your Substack article tearing apart that report that the LNC investigatory committee put together.
So, as far as like libertarian socialism goes, it's mostly a problem with naming. They are refusing to give up an old version of socialism that is not what any of us think about as socialism anymore.
I didn't actually want to get into a debate about libertarian socialism. But
Give me,
yeah.
give me 10,
But you
30
asked.
seconds here.
You
Yeah,
brought it
you
up.
can have it. You can have it. Was a joke, but you can go ahead. Yeah.
So, like, libertarian socialism is the idea that the government shouldn't be giving things to people, but that the people should be working together in basically what we now call voluntarism. They refuse to give that term up because they don't think that the government, who has gone through its literally 50 years of Red Scare 1 and 2, should be able to take that term from them and turn it into something else. Do I think that's a poor marketing decision? Yeah, I really, really do. That's the same reason I have a problem with the Liberal Party, despite understanding what they actually mean by liberal. because when you say liberal, it doesn't mean liberal anymore. It means liberal, and no one wants that shit.
Yeah.
So, like, libertarian socialism has an image problem because they're letting the government define them, and they're standing against that. I appreciate that fact a lot. I just, at the end of the day, that's kind of the whole problem with it. Is libertarians can't be socialists. Yes, they can. They can be the old kind of socialists. They can't be socialists where they want the government to come wipe your ass for you, but that's not what they're saying they are.
Yeah. No, I didn't want to get into a Kareem-esque debate here. We can save that for another time.
No.
Thank God.
All right. So I was asking those questions to kind of see like what direction. Obviously, you guys think the LP is headed in the wrong direction. I think everybody on this stream kind of feels like the LP is in a terrible spot right now as
I think
as
the
an
LP is currently
organization.
just on fire and just going down, and not really going in any direction.
Yeah, I'm not sure I buy into like the doomsday stuff. Like the party's gonna die tomorrow. I don't think I really buy into
No,
that.
I actually
The
think things
libertarian-
might be looking up once we sell HQ. We'll actually have a little bit of money to play with.
The Libertarian
so.
Party is like the cockroach of political parties.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna survive.
You can step
man.
on it, and you can step on a libertarian, and two more will fucking pop up and laugh at you. Like
The Libertarian Party's gone bankrupt before, but it takes a long time to recover from.
Right.
And where we're at right now, I think bankruptcy is a real option if we don't turn some shit around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mostly what I mean by it.
Yeah.
So is the mission to make the LP great again, just to keep things simple? Obviously would try to reverse that. And then is that through doing like this no king shit? Is there like another grander strategy? And don't tell me to read the goddamn manifesto. I'm talking to you, Kyle. Okay.
Yeah,
Hold on, I'll go ahead and just link it to you rather than telling you. Where's your name?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm not going to read it all on air. Okay. I'm asking you.
We did. We read all fucking 96 pages of that SIC report on air. Where are you guys at?
No, listen, we have you for like 2 hours. Okay. Yeah, I read this earlier. Party of principle and power. Parties run candidates. Yep, we heard all this from Joe Hanush. The Libertarian Party and each of its members are not stewards of any candidate. I get all this. I'm asking you, what is the way to make the LP great again?
So what the LP needs is an image fix. We need consistent ideology from national that is pushed towards states. Okay, so the LNC is both right now way too weak and way too powerful.
Okay.
They are too weak in that they don't get to set any ideology for anybody else, and they're like, states want to do what the states want to do.
Isn't that decentralization?
No.
That's not decentralization? What do you mean?
So let's get in the nitty gritty of it. Do you think that LP National should take action against, say, LPNH?
Do I think they should take? I mean, with the current way the bylaws are written and everything else, I don't think that there is a great way to go about it, other than going to Grand Rapids and the people on the floor voting for that. I think that the bylaws should be changed such that a place that is not following the platform and is actively attacking the platform should be able to be thrown out. Like, would you be okay if LPNH was doing nothing but screaming like far left ideology? I wouldn't. If they were going on about
Louisiana does
because
that.
there's been affiliates who did that. Yeah, I mean, I
want them gone too.
Yeah. Don't.
I think that anybody that's going off of our platforms and are actively portraying the libertarian name, which is a business name, the LNC is a registered business. If they're saying that our platform is different and they're portraying it differently, that's bad for us as a brand. The national brand should be brand building.
Do you not view, say, New Hampshire's political structure as putting them outside the norm of how the LNC would normally look over that, in the same way that you might in some of those states that choose to take up more leftist aligned language? In many cases, they're doing that because those are the people they're able to get as voters and market to. And they don't really they're in a one-sided area, or they're getting more support from one side than another.
I understand that for sure. I'm not talking about having language that's more coded one way or another. When you have the head of your comms go and say that you need to stand and say the N-word into the mirror 100 times every day, it's a different story. When he goes out and he says that all of you are against racism, but you can't tell me why I'm wrong, and then anyone who responds to him are blocked, that person is bad for all of our states. Like we watched in Georgia, where we had fucking funding set up for donations. They saw fucking shit from LPNH, and we lost our money for it. That's a problem. Anyone who is sitting and damaging the brand, anyone who's sitting and damaging other affiliates, and I don't mean like incidentally damaging affiliates, should be talked about as being removed because they're not part of the movement. That's
So
left
then
or
you
right or
are-
anything.
So the answer to my previous question is really yes. So then would you be in support of, for instance, disaffiliation with some place like New Hampshire?
Yes, if the people on the floor of Grand Rapids did this. I don't think the LNC, as it stands currently, can do this.
I just happen to disagree with you there because if the people who are voting on the floor are actively subverting the then why are we giving them a vote?
So if a majority
I'm missing
of
you
the
somehow.
delegates who create the party rules subvert the party, do you understand how dumb that sounds right now?
No,
I
no,
don't
Josh.
necessarily say I agree with Kyle here, but that just sounds dumb just
No,
speaking it out loud.
No, I mean, well, because what you allowed
A
and
majority of
what
the
national
delegates subverting the convention that
No.
they're in charge of technically.
because you're lumping in people who are subverting the party into your term delegates.
Okay.
Well, sure, but we always have that.
If they're on the
It's
floor
not a
voting
good
at
thing, though. It's
convention,
not a
they're
good thing, though.
delegates.
We're talking about when the Mises Caucus took over. We're talking about 7 states who went against some went against state law.
The
in
Mises
Virginia.
Caucus was the subversion. You were for that subversion.
Yeah, we took over the party, and then in 7 states, or just about 7 states or so, people who were not elected to that Libertarian Party in that state tried to make their own affiliates. Some of them did, and then they showed up at the state convention and then got to vote in other states for other LPs, and that's what happened. I don't think that should happen.
Well, that's a national.
Well,
bylaws thing there, bud.
yeah, you're just saying that because you were on the committee. You were actually the chair of that committee that did that,
I
Josh.
was.
So good job.
I know because
I
I'm a
agree
savant
with
for
the
this
debate
shit.
that Rob is having here. I want to point out, Grumpy Gnome said in the chat, each state should have its own branding. So this is sort of gets to the core of what I'm talking about, which is that I believe that it is virtually impossible, even with a perfectly running LNC through the history of pretty much the whole party, for the LNC or the Libertarian National Structure to oversee successfully all of the affiliates uniquely. And one of the reasons behind that is because, as somebody in Alaska and somebody familiar with Florida and all these other states, they all have their own unique political little pockets and little structures that have been built up over all these years of the duopoly existing. You have different sides and things like that that play in. So the problem I look at is you have to draft a bylaw or draft something to structure the national party around those affiliates. Unless you just give the national party the ability to, at ease, choose an affiliate, decide you stepped out of the bounds, and remove them, which I don't think is a good way to set things up, because then you're going to have a top-down structure where the second the national party is taken over by a subversive group, Mises, leftist, doesn't matter who, they can just dissolve the entire existence of the party.
Sure. All I'm really
right
arguing
now
for
is bad.
Yeah, I agree. All I'm really arguing for is if there is an elected board and then the board that got taken over is competing as the second Libertarian Party in the state, I think the national board should recognize the rightfully elected board. That's literally all I'm advocating for, and you don't do that on the national convention floor because that causes issues.
Well, I'm pointing out that removing, say, LPNH, regardless
Josh, you
of how
actually
it's
don't have a
done-
say in this because you're in the Republican Party now, so I don't know why.
Motherfucker, I'm still a dues-paying member of the National Libertarian Party. I can show up to convention. and
But you
still
don't
get
have a
seated.
vote.
Josh is a political whore.
You
I
are a
can still
political
get-
whore.
All of politics is whoring.
You guys
Yeah.
don't even. The worst part is you guys don't even know your own bylaws, so you would know that I can still get seated at the national convention. Keep fucking.
Yeah.
No, I know.
we
I'm
Nick.
just saying that's a
Do you know the
it's a
history of that?
problem.
Keep fucking with me. I'll show up and I'll
So
I'll
Tim,
get
I just
seated.
sent
Yeah,
a better thing to be up.
I
If
have
you can
it,
replace
yeah.
that one. If you can replace that one.
With this dot one?
Yes.
There's gonna be
Okay, give me a
dots.
second. There you go.
Oh,
There's
God.
dots.
Cool.
What are those
So-
dots?
So what are we looking at here?
That is
I'm trying to make it as big as possible. Yeah.
the LP under Mises. That is our membership by month from the takeover to now. Notice that it is
I like this one
exclusively
better.
negative. This one is, that one's important, but it's a different thing. That one is the membership from 1972 all the way to now.
Okay, so what's this big spike here? This is
That's
good.
the 90s,
That
where
was
we
the
had
very
our
one.
strictest LNC ever. That's when the LNC was telling the states exactly what to do, exactly what to think, and the states had to follow the very strict platform. The concept that we need to be very spread and let the states choose things is fucking stupid. Everyone here knows that like 30 of the states out there are retarded.
Yeah.
You don't want them to have an opinion. Not for what you think.
Well, they can have an opinion. I'm just saying.
Well,
Yeah,
by the
those-
way, I mean,
you
I
don't want their
disagree
opinion to
with
be the
what
one
you're
you're
saying
hearing.
right here.
No right to
Because
speak for themselves. Got it.
I mean,
This is
part of the
my-
Damn
takeover
right they
was
don't.
to, part
They
of
are
the
part
takeover
of
was
a
to get-
organization, and the organization gets to speak for itself. Those states, when they say things outside of what the organization believes, are speaking for everyone else in that organization. LP Georgia is part of LP National. So if LP Georgia says things, that's what LP National believes. Your opinion, when you go into a voluntary association, does not get to overturn everyone else's. You have voluntarily entered into an agreement for a group. The group has bylaws, the group has opinions, the group has a platform. If you don't agree with those, that's fine. That can be your personal opinion.
And
you
so
don't get to push
basically,
those
we
through in
came
an
into that
organization.
group. Came into that group, won our elections, and then they immediately did all the subversive shit to fuck with us.
Who?
The people who Rob was talking about.
Oh, you mean from the MC?
States that decided to fuck with us?
No,
I mean-
no. We're talking about the Sarwarks. We're talking because
Yeah.
in every single state that did that bullshit where they were trying to fight against the elected MC boards,
Yep.
it was the same blueprint. It was ran by the same people. You can't convince me otherwise because it was a strategy, and that's what they did. And then they still got
That's
elected.
not okay either.
It's not okay, dude. It's not okay.
I
And
agree.
that's-
That's
okay,
the thing.
yeah,
When you have like
that's
this
what I'm saying.
top-down structure, I'm concerned about so much shit like that.
You can't do that in a proper structure. They should be able to give messaging and tell everyone this is our messaging, this is our focus. They should be able to
Okay.
give out.
The point that I made earlier is not this. My point earlier was that if you have a top-down structure like this, how is it?
There's
how
not a
would
top-down
you
structure
stop-
described here.
How would you stop an LNC from being taken over and simply dissolving each individual affiliate until the party ceases to function?
Like Amanda pointed out here, it's a hub and spoke. The hub in the middle is giving out the data to everybody else, and those the spokes are also returning data back to the middle. It's going back and forth to everybody. There is no top-down structure.
Can I say something real quick?
Nothing you're saying here answers what I just asked.
And
How-
You
if
keep
you-
asking about a
if the
top-down
LNC
structure, and I'm saying we have to
No.
restructure entirely.
That's not what I'm saying. If the
Blatant.
LNC has the ability to
Blatant.
decide to disaffiliate on a whim or with a
Blatant.
vote of an LNC board, how could what would
I
stop
can
the
tell
board
you
from
how.
being taken over and simply dissolving each individual affiliate?
I can tell you
Because-
exactly how. Through their wheel and spoke bullshit that they're talking, the spoke and hub bullshit. All I got to do is control the hub in the middle, because that hub is what provides support for the actual wheel and the spokes. Without that hub, the spokes go start pushing in and the wheel collapses. So all I
Fundamentally
gotta do is-
incorrect.
fundamentally incorrect until it's actually
Just-
put into practice.
I'm talking about this from a purely bylaws perspective, okay? If you have a system where, like you said, you believe changing bylaws or whatever the situation may be so that the different parties that step out of line could be disaffiliated,
Yes.
how do you design that system? Or how do you make that be a system that exists in which you couldn't have a scenario play out where somebody takes control of the party, regardless of
Because
affiliation,
that
and simply
hub
dissolve?
consists of all of the spokes as well. So
Okay.
for a disaffiliation, you have to have every state fucking jump in with you. If you have to have 2/3 of the states agree with you, or 2/3 of the delegates who were at the previous convention agree with you, it's a whole different ballgame. You don't have
So
17
do you
people.
think that the rate of infighting is going to go down in the LP with that kind of system in place?
You have different levels of people for different questions. The same as you do in
that
any
just
other
seems like
bylaws.
creating infinite factions to me. You're going to have state
It's not
blocks.
infinite
that
factions.
That's why I said you control the hub, you can destroy it all really quickly.
Well, we all
Probably
agree
already
that
do
there
it
are
right.
different libertarian movements in each of these states that have different cultural appeals to libertarianism. So, for instance, New Hampshire caters themselves mostly to right libertarians or people even on the more Republican side of things. And I think that's one argument. But likewise, I see multiple affiliates who clearly cater more towards a left brand because that's who they have. My argument
Indiana.
is that you're always going to have that because that's how politics works. And if you want to have a system where the LNC can have states come forward and vote to remove certain other states, all you're going to create in that system is another basically infinite caucus wars in a sense, where certain states that have cultural similarities are going to group up and become voting blocks. And you're just going to have basically democracy wars play out at every convention.
Yep.
Which is what the problem I think we have now is for the most part. I think it doesn't solve anything. It just adds more to the equation.
That's why
right now, we have 60% of our fucking people leave by the second day of convention every time.
Well, that's because they.
I was there in DC. I was there for the whole thing and an extra day.
Because they planned fucking poorly. Like
That's not why they leave. They only care about the big things. So the president, they hear presidential nominations done, they go home.
Okay, so you just made my point. You plan poorly because you only care about one specific.
Well, if we're saying you plan poorly, that was Angelo, which is MC. So I'm just going to blame you.
Right. That's fine because I haven't been MC for almost like 4 years, but sure.
Doesn't matter. Tainted forever, right? I'm far left.
Yeah. Okay.
Ever MC, right?
I mean, we can. Kyle, just remember, I don't hold grudges. I can harbor them, and I heal in hell.
No, Kyle, I will vouch for Josh here. We've fought him pretty hard on a lot of things here in Florida, but I'm not going to keep the identifier leftist on you forever either.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I have a lot of strong opinions about the MC for a lot of things, Kyle. I don't disagree with you on a lot of it. I think the MC.
We got some bad background noise somewhere. Sorry, Josh. We got some.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Your mom's just rolling around in them ropes I tied her up in earlier. But I'm gonna get back to porking that bitch out in a minute there. So don't worry. Your mom's gonna be safe and get home on time tonight for your fucking pizza.
Jeez, guy.
I'm sure you love being handcuffed by Mike Termott, fucking cop lover.
Look, so, they say Rothbard said release the police, and I said yes, sir.
Oh my god. So El Barfo's made the claim that the United membership was disliked, which is absolutely false. States actually loved it. States have actually been calling to go back to it. National didn't like it because National.
What the fuck is the UNP?
So it used to be.
Go ahead.
It used to be that if you became a member of state, you could check a box to only be a member of state, but usually you also automatically became a member of national. And in the same vein, if you became a member of national, you also became a member of whichever state you lived in.
It's essentially a kickback program.
Right. The money was automatically shared everywhere. So any. Do you know how to read, Josh?
I don't.
It does sound like socialism. I'll give him that much.
It sounds, socialism sounds great on paper when you read it out. I'm just saying.
All the money
you can't have socialism inside of a for-profit business.
Tell that to all the socialists I meet that work in for-profit companies.
Yeah.
That's basically
a co-op isn't socialism because it's voluntary.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Yeah.
The Libertarian Party is voluntary.
Yeah.
As we saw when you became a Republican.
That was good.
I don't know how voluntary it is.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I'll give you that it gets you its hooks in you, and you just can't fucking leave. But
no, you can.
I never became a Republican.
Absolutely, you can. You trust me. I can tell everybody you can leave. You just go. It's just fine.
It was pretty easy.
It's not really easy. It's just couple computer clicks, and I was there. It was crazy.
I'm gonna go look up the last time that Josh paid dues.
States should have their own membership requirements, not to cause bylaw problems. I think they already do, and I think that's why there's so much confusion about who's a member.
Yep.
Matter if I paid dues or not. There were the like. It's so funny. Like that's what I'm saying here. Rob's like, you were just saying that because you're like, no, I'm saying that because I had to read bylaws and understand intimately how their membership and credentialing works. There are so many states where you don't even have to be a current member. You just had to, at some point, at some time in the history of the LP, have maybe been a member in a state, and not even that state, just somewhere.
That's bad.
Yeah, and you could put your foot down. You could put your foot down and make your own decision. But you chose to put your foot down in a certain way as to be favorable towards not the Mises Caucus in that instance.
Yeah, I was favorable towards my own fucking team, who was trying to get a whole bunch of fucking delegates across the finish line.
But as the chair of the committee, you're supposed to make decisions as an unbiased party. That's fine.
That's crazy how politics works there, Robert. Funny how it works like that.
And that's why we're friends, because I know you're a good politician. You're a cutthroat guy, but yeah, you did.
Which election did you win, Josh?
You did. Wait, hang on, Kyle, because this is a long going argument.
What elections did I win?
Yeah.
I won.
No. It's not. No, Josh. No. Fucking listen to me, because it's not about
demolish J. Mark Barfield.
You just admitted you did what you did for a biased reason, and you've never done that before, you piece of shit.
I always do everything for a biased reason. Rob, everything I do, whether you realize it or not, has a point and a purpose that I'm heading towards a certain destination. And either you're going to get on the fucking bus and you're going to ride with me, or I'm going to run you over with that fucking bus. It's your
Or he's going to leave your bus and go to the Republican bus.
You're not running me over with Mike Vermont's Republican bus. It's not going to happen.
That
He's
bus
not
is going to come take
anything.
a detour through Liberty Town. You better watch out.
Fuck, he's going to put you at the back of the bus, Rob.
We know that they're not going to run you over because of the fact that the bus is driven by a cop. Cop's not running someone over. Oh, fuck. Yes, he is. He's an American cop.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome, actually.
And shoot you.
Yeah, all them protesters in the road, don't got to worry about it. We're going to run them over with the bus.
And I like Mike, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you did this for a reason, and you did it for a reason.
I heard Rothbard when he said you need to release the police, and I did. And all the faggot fucking Mises guys got mad at me because they're fucking gay and they have giant dildos in their buttholes, and that's why they didn't like releasing.
No, it's because you did a wrong thing. It's because you did a wrong thing. It's because you did a wrong thing.
Did I do a wrong thing, or did you guys do a wrong thing, and y'all are just dug in to not admit you did the wrong thing?
What did Josh do that was wrong?
He agreed with Hector Ruse.
I've already.
All right, he's got a point there. You agrees with Hector.
Yeah.
Come on.
I agree with Hector. Hector derangement syndrome agrees to Josh derangement. See, Rob, you've been spending too much time around, Lisa and fucking you need to calm down.
I want to be
get
clear.
The JDS
the
is real,
argument
but you don't need
both
to. You don't
of
need
you
to
are
take that
having
away.
is incredibly gay and stupid, and that's just my outside perspective.
But I wanna
Lady, you
answer the
agreed
question.
with me.
But Kyle,
You agreed with me on this whole
I
thing.
do agree with
y'all
but
can
it's
shut the fuck
also
up.
gay
Kyle,
and
I want to
stupid.
answer your question here.
It is incredibly gay and stupid.
So you asked me what.
Which is why I
won.
feel like I'm
Are
the
we
only one
talking-
who's moved on.
No, I haven't moved on. Are we?
Josh never moves on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm still spinning tires in the bus, bud. We're still burning out right now.
My heart's big.
You ever seen Speed, Mitch? I'm just driving the bus in a circle right now, trying to keep that bitch from blowing up.
I mean, you could mute him.
I could mute him.
Mute.
It's not necessary yet.
You ran against only a Democrat and lost in Florida.
Yeah, and I still got more votes than Chase
in
did. That's
Broward
crazy.
County.
No, you didn't. Oh, in a county? That's awesome.
Yeah, in my county where he got I was in a small chunk of the county and I got 7 times the votes he did in the entire county. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You had 12,000 votes.
I had the second most votes in the fucking state.
I don't care about you having brought your entire family to vote for you.
I have 12,000 family members. That's fucking great. That's more than all the LP.
He's gone again. Yeah, so why aren't they in the LP?
They're demons.
Because they all went Republican.
Yeah, because we're actually trying to, win and pass legislation and change culture and, not get fucking bent over by the left and fucked in the ass.
Bad news, because Trump has set you up hard to get bent over by the left in the next election. Oh, yeah.
I'll worry about that when the next election comes. I live day to day, bud. I live day to
Just to be clear,
it would appear that he lives packet to packet.
there's only one person in this call who's gone to the Republican side, and I feel like we've talked about that now for like, and I'm trying to argue from the libertarian side, so I don't, like, I'm confused as to what we're actually debating at this point in regards to the whole thing.
I'm out of the LP too, but I don't know where the fuck I'm going right now.
I think that makes 3, actually, if I'm right. I may be right.
Duke, I'm sorry you just get disrespected on this show like
Duke,
that.
Duke too.
I haven't been around for a long time, so I completely understand
Mitch,
why.
come to the dark side. We got cookies and Thomas Massey.
Well, let's be clear.
And
I don't know.
Not for long, do you have Thomas Massey?
I don't think I've
He'll be
been
fine.
with Kyle.
He'll be fine.
I'm a board member in Alaska. I'm a comms director here.
I know.
You know, so I mean, I like the perspective I give is separated because I'm not in the lower 48, and then it's another layer of separated because I am MC in the sense that in DC I was a delegate. I voted against about half of the stuff that the MC people wanted me to vote for, so I'm not a. I've always been sort of middle of the road. I'm not. I've been unfollowed by all the MC people that previously liked me, so I am not in that bubble. But. Well, yeah, not Rob, I guess. But so the reason I have issues with some of the stuff that's been being brought up is more of, I mean, I agree with you what you said about the spoke and wheel system. I think ultimately this is just another layer of sort of libertarian democracy, and I think that ultimately it's just going to cause more catfights to exist. Like it's sort of the same. We're trading one bad system for another bad system.
Yeah, the spoken wheel kind of sounds like a butt cake, if I'm being honest.
I'm for the butt
Sounds
cake,
like I'm gonna stick
gotta
my
say.
finger in the hub and fuck that butt cake.
See, Mitch,
No,
that's how you
went to
do
the
a segue.
Republicans. Your job is now to get fucked in the butt by Trump.
You know.
You have to first. You got to help him get it up.
Elon comes and buys that pissant party just to fucking merge it with their fucking.
He's not. He's creating his own party.
I hope he buys it just to merge it with the America Party
So
and rebrand it.
So to answer Joe's question here, actually, because I think this is a perfectly fine topic.
Is she actually running?
He says she is.
She ain't come on our show yet.
I've been very clear that I will vote for any person who runs for chair who I think represents a change and a new system in the party.
I'm running for chair.
Angela talking about running, I mean, the point that I would point out to people is that, you know, she can run on the fact that she got Ross out through the whole Trump thing, I guess. I mean, I ultimately have issues with the way that Angela ran the LP, and I have issues with the way that I think she would in the future that I don't think she's willing to necessarily address to me. And so that's where I think we separate on a lot of these issues. But, I mean, who's going to run for chair? The people that I've seen put forward by some of the names I've seen thrown out are
who does the LP Alliance back for chair?
We don't back slates.
This is bullshit.
Who do you back for chair?
I think that's a mistake, by the way. I'll just
me personally. I personally want Justin Amash to run.
He ain't doing it.
I've heard that name.
Not
put up. It's
happening.
not happen.
He's
realistic.
Talk to him on it.
We've talked. Okay, so we got in the fantasy land. Fucking like.
No, we've talked to him,
and
he's considering it. He has a committee for it.
Okay, but him considering it, is he placating you just to have, like, you know, good relations?
He put a fucking committee together. At the point where a political person puts a committee together to look at something, they're at least somewhat serious.
I don't think it's a realistic choice.
No, I don't at all.
You don't think the LP is realistic and went Republican to change the Republicans?
Oh, wait, don't.
Justin Amash is going to run for office again as a Republican.
Worst thing, a label.
Hold on.
Oh my God, Josh, you have the worst label. God.
Listen, Duke just laid out a pretty big gauntlet there. I'm going to go around the room. What is more likely? Justin Amash runs for chair of the LP or Justin Amash runs for office as a Republican? Duke, you kind of said he's going to run for office.
Yeah, he's going to run for office again as a Republican in this cycle. He's going to run in Michigan.
Justin Amash?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. He tried to run recently. So, like, part of me wonders, he now finally has
Which one is more likely?
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
He's more likely to run again. He's more likely
as a Republican?
As a Republican, I think.
Josh.
Not only am I going to say he's more likely to run as Republican, I'm going to add a little extra asterisk that you're going to see Gary Johnson run for Senate as Republican before you see Justin Amash run for chair of the LNC.
He ran for chair of the LNC already.
I'm just trying to get like quick answers from everybody.
I shut him down.
They stand on their damn soapbox. Rob.
The MC was against it. We had Justin Amash as a possible candidate this year, and there was a whole big fucking attack.
Yeah, but he didn't run, and that's what he didn't.
He did run for it. He announced about it.
I don't even remember what the hell.
In February.
Rob,
did he get
which is more likely? Rob,
Just to be contrarian, because I think he's already tried the Republican thing. I think maybe run for chair. We'll just say that. I'm with you guys on that. I think he would rather be most likely run for Republican, but I'll just go the other way just to be contrarian.
Yeah, and then Leighton.
Just to lie, Rob.
It's a value for time issue. I think Amash looks at it as I can run a campaign and reach a bunch of people and then hopefully get office again, and that's going to be worth more than chairing the LP. I think he would ultimately look at it that way. So I think he might choose to run in the LP, but I think he would be smart to run for office because I think that's where he excels and has a track record of excelling. So my issue is that we have a problem where we keep going back to the same fuckers who we've gone back to over and over again. And I really do believe that from the LNC to the chair, we need new people in general. I've said this now for the last couple of years, before MC stuff, before even DC. And I think that one of my concerns is that, again, I don't buy into this whole spoke wheel thing because I think ultimately you're going to have the same cat fights arise. But I do think that the only way you're going to get the LP running smoothly is if you do have, frankly, the smaller affiliated states having more of a say within the LP at the national level than the larger states. I know that seems weird, and sort of backwards, but it makes sense when you think that the LNC from a national level doesn't have to support those larger state affiliates as much as they do the smaller states. So I've always made that argument that the system, regardless of whether it's top down or not, the smaller states have a harder time getting involved at the national level. And so that's always going to be the concern.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Kyle, go ahead. I kind of agree with the guys that he's more likely to run as a Republican, not going to run for LP chair. I don't think anybody needs that fucking headache. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
And why bother? I can go be a candidate and go be more effective, even if I lose. He
wanted to run for LNC chair this year.
But he did.
He did. He announced on Twitter. He talked about it.
Did he fill out the petition form in DC? Did he submit the petition form in DC? If he didn't do those two things,
this year is not the DC convention.
He's talking about the interim. He's talking about the interim.
Oh, the interim? Oh, fuck that. That's not actually running for chair. That's fine.
Yes, it is.
I agree with you, but I don't recall Justin Amash being nominated. That's what I asked before. I don't think he was nominated in the meeting.
He was not formally nominated because of the backroom deal that was made to get Nikayla elected versus Heiss. There was the group that wouldn't
agree with you. I'm just saying no one nominated him.
He was talked to. We had him on record and everything.
That's cool.
He posted about it on Twitter, everything else. It was there. We had the choices of Heiss, Nikayla, or Amash, and we had people who wouldn't go for Amash and said only Nikayla.
But Amash wasn't even on that
I'll
meeting.
be honest with you. If I was given the option between Amash or Nikayla, and I was the one making that decision, my opinion stands. I think that Amash is better running for actual political roles because that's where he excels at. Nikayla already chaired a large state affiliate and has, I think, friendly ties with both sides of the arena in the political sphere.
Not anymore.
LP. Yeah, that's a different story now. He did at the time. And to be honest with you, I think people think for some reason that Nikayla was like an MC-backed person where I was involved in conversations, and that was not the case. I backed Nikayla because I had met him and had conversations with him in Florida and in DC.
When it came down to Nikayla versus Heiss, the choice was clear. But
by the way, I would choose. I probably will get hate on this call even for that choice. But if I was given those options, I'd probably pick Nikayla over Heiss.
You're not going to get hate. I think everybody was ready for that.
Yeah.
I just don't have
Yeah, but
really
like-
high hopes for anything that this LNC will accomplish, even under Nikayla.
Well, I think
don't have high
Nikayla's in a
hope
really
for-
shitty position.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
I will just some insight there. Just we've been infighting this entire time I've been on the LNC, and that's kind of why I've been so disassociated from it, because we're not really doing much. And that's the conversation I had with some of the MC guys. They want me to be on a call tomorrow, and I said, yeah, I'll be on the call, but we need to be prepared to start working with these people and do shit that people actually want to see get done, instead of like trying to remove Adrian Malagon for some bullshit and shit like that. So that's kind of what my role is right now, and that's kind of why like I said, I've been disengaged, because it's been nothing. Like anything, it's been removing Karen Harless, removing Angela, removing Adrian. Let's do things that everyone agrees about.
We got to purge the
From the
LP to
dark
make it
side,
great
Rob.
again.
Yeah. And don't pay attention to the bullshit, because most of that shit is bullshit. Most of that shit was Karen Ann just sending irrelevant emails, and Adrian shitting on Chatterton, and people trying to shit on Adrian back. Like that's pretty much what the email is, even the private shit. And it's for someone like me who works like 10 to 12 hours a day sometimes, I'm not going to deal with it. I don't need to deal with that. I need to deal with shit that actually matters.
That's fair. I mean, there's a reason that we have kind of said that this LNC, in a lot of ways, is a lost cause, and that we should still be, telling them the things we want and everything else, but that until Grand Rapids, the things aren't going to be fixed, because there's a lock in ideology right now. We're in the two sides again. It shouldn't be two sides.
There's like
three.
There's like three sides right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's even more than that. I think that's my.
There's a whole
Spoka
side.
Yeah, you're so factionalized going into this convention that I think what I wanted to see was a group like come forward, take the ideas that the MC had that were still good and some of the other things and put them together. I saw the American Liberty Caucus here, the new one was doing that, but they don't have enough people, I think, to get something before convention, whatever the case may be. I don't think there's any group that is organized enough right now going into the convention that's going to have a vast majority.
Yeah.
So you're going to end up with, frankly, I think, worst case scenario, which is I think you're going to have almost what happened in DC and in every other convention before, where you get a mix of both sides again, and you don't have a plurality and the problem, or a majority, and then you're right back to the same infighting for another couple years.
Yeah, coalitions for resolutions to censure one another coming soon.
For states that are represented by boards that are in the LP Alliance, we're talking about nearly 900 delegates currently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're not.
Right,
you're not. Okay, no. Hang on. No, you're saying there's 900 people in the LP Alliance that can be delegates and all this stuff. But you guys aren't. You aren't putting up a candidate. Whatever. Point is, you're saying he said there's no organized group within, and you're saying the LP Alliance is an organized group that's within the party. Okay, but you're not putting up any candidates. You're not supporting any candidates. You're not saying go vote for this person. You're saying vote your conscience, which ends up with a three-way split or whatever it ends up with.
We've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah.
I think you guys will start kind of tacitly endorsing people, or you should. I would recommend.
We've endorsed people. We will still endorse people. We're just not going to tell everyone who's like in LPA, this is who you must vote for to be part of LPA shit.
Sure,
because that's just nonsense.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. And everybody in here is from Florida, so we all understand and agree with that.
Yeah,
but well, yeah, you had the same problem. I'm not going to relitigate old shit.
But you sweat like you're from Florida, so that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what's going to happen at Grand Rapids. I feel like for me, going to Grand Rapids is kind of the end. Like we saw like the rise up, we saw the run up, everything peaked around the Reno reset, and then we kind of had the DC kerfuffle and everything kind of fell apart. And the end of the ride is at the DC convention, and we'll kind of see how this whole thing played out. From beginning to end for me. And then we'll just kind of, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it from that perspective. I don't actually think that we're going to get any sort of cohesive LNC out of this. I think what Leighton and others were saying before, that it's just going to be more infighting, more censures, more constant bickering, because there is no unifying force within the LP, not even with the LP Alliance. There's a lot of different voices in there. I still think it's bullshit. You guys won't have certain people on, but that's fine. That's your show. You do what you want to do.
I will continue to bring that to the people who are in the comms committee, which I'm only in because of being a mod.
Sure. Again.
So wait. Is there someone above you making that call?
No, there's somebody within him. There's somebody within him, and her name is Amanda.
He's not incorrect.
So wait.
That's why I do like such a good Kermit the Frog.
Did you get overruled? Because I feel like if it
we
was
don't have
equal,
to go to this. Yeah.
You should be able to bring. Okay, fine.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Fuck you, Joe.
Yeah, fuck you, Joe. Everybody, fuck you, Joe.
Second.
I moved to say fuck you, Joe.
Second with prejudice because Tim still hasn't defended the belt.
Sword fight,
we got
bitch.
a second with president. All right, we have objection from Mr. Crosby here.
Call to order.
Discussion on the matter.
Call to order.
Call to order. We are on, sir. We are on orders of the day here.
I want to know.
Brandner, I need you to stay focused here. I
want to know where he
just
went.
got kind of distracted.
Amanda has gone over
We're gonna
from.
make it through this together.
He's breaking shit.
Knock shit over.
This is connection.
Let's go, motherfucker.
Oh shit! You got a samurai sword. I have a medieval one.
Not to be fucked with.
This one is like some Renaissance fair shit. This is like a
Yeah.
Okay, good. So it's about the same quality of the one that I have.
So sword fight.
Okay. All right. We know what we're doing in Grand Rapids.
I thought you guys didn't think that we were the party of LGBT.
Fuck you. Listen.
Listen, you son of a bitch. What the fuck's your problem? You goddamn son of a bitch. Those are fucking fighting words.
Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry.
See, like Amanda's going after that rather than her hand being in my ass that I ate her. But I don't think that anyone here needs to know about like sexual preferences. That's just, a whole different thing.
Yeah.
It is dilatory, Boomer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, very dilatory.
Yeah.
This is not dilatory.
I don't remember. I don't remember where I wanted to go with this stuff. Yeah, see you later, Nomi. The only true choice for the future of the LP, Gnome and Mad Dog for chair 2026.
That's true. And that's where I'll be.
That's a hell of a ticket.
That's where I'll
got votes in DC.
What's that?
Mad Dog got votes in DC, right?
Did he actually?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nomi got votes in DC. Mad Dog got votes in DC. I got votes in DC. You know who didn't get votes in DC? Because I know Rob over here did. You know who didn't get votes in DC? Mitch. Mitch didn't get votes in DC.
No one nominated me for shit, and I told people you can nominate me for whatever you want. I'll do whatever.
If you would have brought me your little clipboard with your little petition thing, I would have signed it. I would have brought it right over to Seabeck's fucking tie-dyed ass, and I would have made sure to be up at the mic to nominate you immediately.
I don't think an Alaskan has ever been on the LNC, and I challenged somebody to tell me, and I have not been able to find any historian who would tell me otherwise. I don't think
Leighton Radner for
secretary been on the LNC. Oh, fuck you.
Leighton Radner for LNC secretary.
I think that's a good position for him.
But you got to wear a pink wig.
I'd dye my hair pink.
Yeah, dye your whole shit pink. That'd be good.
Dye the beard and everything.
I don't trust them either.
Yeah.
Oh man, while we're at it,
we're all
shit.
There's an LP alliance against Joe for sure.
Hell yeah. That's the LP alliance I'm here for. Fuck Joe Hanoush.
Yeah. Joe's never joined LPA. Just saying.
Joe doesn't join any caucus because he's above that shit.
We're not a caucus.
Whatever. Yes, you are. It's the same thing.
He's they're a coalition.
It's an inter-caucus coalition, okay?
Damn right.
Yeah, I read the website.
You can enter this caucus.
Well, Kyle, speaking of joining LPA, how do you even go about doing that? Why don't you plug your shit before we get out of here?
Discord.gg/LP-Alliance.
How do you get that? Did you have to pay for that? I want that.
We had people who boosted the shit out of our Discord.
You hear that? All you people, stop giving YouTube memberships. Go boost the Discord so we can get a custom URL.
No, YouTube memberships are cool. YouTube memberships
they're cool too.
Yeah.
No, don't, Bubba. Don't hold the sword.
Yeah,
My son is picking
listen
up
to
my
this.
sword and my belt. This is dangerous. He's 4 years old. He can't do this.
Well,
That's too much power for a 4-year-old.
No, it's a perfect time for him to learn.
Wait.
You're the one who demands to defend the belt via trial by combat.
Yeah, because my idea is
Yeah.
way better than all your dumb ones.
Yeah.
Literally, the
Fuck
belt
you,
is
Mitch.
defended in whatever ways we want.
That's true.
That
Yeah.
is the rule.
Mitch,
of
you're
the
on some
podcast
Joe Hanoush
championship.
level shit right now. I need you to take it down a notch.
No, Mitch is right. That is not the rightful home of the belt. That is true. Well, thanks for having these friendly debates with us, Kyle. I mean, I don't know if I'm welcome in the LP Alliance, but I sure encourage you guys. I think I agreed with you more today than I thought I would going into this podcast. That's for sure.
It like everyone sees the takes I have that are like on the left side because those are the ones that people get pissed off about.
Sure. Yeah.
It's because I'll sit there and I'll defend ANCOMs. People are like, "There's no place here for communists." And it's like, tankies,
That's true.
no. Tankies, no. But anybody who wants the government to die and they want to go live on their own little voluntarist commune and not have money, as long as they're not making me part of it, I don't care. That sounds great. You go do that.
Yeah, sure.
If you guys start to starve to death, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't agree with them when they say this, but I know one commie who keeps telling me if you go far enough left, then you get your guns back. And I'm like, all right, dude, sure. But I just want the government out of things.
You're next.
She had the opportunity to not have to hear me for 2 hours, and she chose to come watch me.
Was that your wife that sat on your lap? Is that who that is?
No, that's Amanda from the LPA streams. You remember the other girl?
I don't watch
the black leather jacket.
Okay, yeah.
Now you know.
That's
right.
Yes, now I know what you're talking about. Okay, cool.
As soon as you start mentioning like actual physical parents, it's like for Rob over there.
Good one, Kyle. You know, do you suck on your wife's tits or does she suck on yours?
Oh my god!
Both are nice.
Both are nice.
Both are nice. You're right.
Both are accepted by Martha Bueno.
I agree. Oh, fuck you, Leighton.
Oh,
That's a
God.
sore subject.
Well, on
It's
that
like my
note,
butthole.
too, while we're doing plugs, go check out tpublic.com/retro remnant. Got a bunch of other Thomas Massey stuff.
Mitch, you just forced that plug like a rape, dude. That was
It was.
that was an insanely forced plug.
I think you can just call that a forced plug and get the idea of rape across pretty easily.
True.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? That's what we do here.
Bend Mitch's
force plug
over.
Well, apparently it's not. I didn't force the plug. I didn't do the raping. That's what Mitch did.
Yeah.
So, like, for Mari's question there, like, there's ALC in there.
Oh, sorry.
We have ALC.
Yeah. I pulled the wrong one. Sorry. Yep.
Oh, Amanda's now lying to you. She is buttering your buns.
And I've never been on Swampcast, but I know that they're cool people. Listen,
No.
we're not
Libertarians
cool
and
people.
Republican. No one here's cool.
Yes, all of them. Yeah, especially Duke.
Kyle met us in person. We were like, "You can come back to the hotel room with us."
Real
and
recognize real.
No, he showed up. He showed
up, and then he was like, "I'm actually gonna leave pretty quick."
In fairness, I was standing there in a robe and briefs, and that was it.
Yeah. We were doing gay shit. That's true. We were doing gay shit. Kyle was like, "I'm not doing this."
Yeah.
It's you guys had faux RF Kennedy there. That was too far. Bridge too far.
Yep. It was that was different. Yeah.
It was a cool one though.
It's actually Mitch's best impression. So Mitch, you did a great job.
It's now retired unless I ever meet Amaryllis Kennedy. Yeah. So Josh, if you can hear that now that you're offline,
he's not off. He's just disabled.
That's the only way RFK is ever coming back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So never.
Yeah. Anyway, to Amanda's point, she said she's never been on Swampcast. We did say that we were going to have Amanda on first, so we'll probably make that happen at some point, and maybe she can articulate better with it. She wrote the manifesto, so maybe she won't have to tell us to go read it. It'll be a good time.
You're making a mistake there. She's just going to recite it to you.
Yeah.
You know that.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's fine. It's better than reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is, man. It's good to have a conversation with people because you can write shit down or whatever, but you get like a real feel for people. And I like just watching a bunch of your guys' streams and stuff. There are some people in the LP Alliance that I do not get along with and would not want to be friends with and whatever. And I'm not going to name names, but there are plenty of people like yourself and Amanda that I can get along with and talk to, and we can joke around and have a good time. And I feel like that's one thing that's lost with the LP right now is everybody is infighting over stupid shit and minor disagreements. And,
Exactly.
I hope that we can get over that. And so, I've said for a long time, the show is open to anybody that wants to come on, except for Kareem. But anybody else that wants to come on and not debate libertarian socialism, no, there's a listen. I'm not opposed to having anybody on, but you got to be cool. You got to be able to chill. You got to be able to have a conversation, take criticism, and then be able to, have a conversation. And so you guys do that well. And I think even if we disagree about some things, about perhaps even the direction of the party and where we think it should go, it is important to have the conversation and just have a good time while we're doing it. I don't think that we're ever going to set the world free in our lifetimes. I think it's a great motto, but it's never going to happen. So the best we can do is meet each other and, stick, I don't know, hang out. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Joe.
It doesn't have to be that. We just have to be the gadfly to the horse, just like Plato said. So I think that's been the goal with me the entire time in the LP.
Rob would want to be a bug.
I'm so much faster than you, Leighton. It's unreal. It's unreal, dude.
Well, since Josh isn't here to shill for the Republicans, I suppose I'll say, go check out the American Party.
Another plug? Are you kidding me? This is
Yep, you're going to get 2 plugs shoved in you, Rob, right there.
Oh,
Fuck
Jesus.
the American Party. Go to outlawedthoughts.com if you want to say fuck the American Party.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Fuck the American Party, indeed. And
you know what we never... I'm sorry. You know what we never talked about was the Mountain Dew conspiracy. I brought it up and we never talked about it.
The what?
Conspiracy?
Mountain Dew conspiracy. Yeah, I've heard about this. I don't know. I could keep going. I'm down to keep going.
I just want to end with something funny, and we can go racist Carnival Cruise ad, or we can go Mountain Dew conspiracy. And I'm thinking of the Mountain Dew conspiracy. So, hold on. Let me pull it up over here. Yeah, so this is crazy. This was shot before said incident, and you'll know what I'm talking about at the end of this. But have any of you ever heard of the Mountain Dew conspiracy? Do you know what I'm about to bring up?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I follow the Butterflies Are something podcast. Well, I've seen a clip from them on this very thing. Mountain Dew releases different flavors before different events happen in real life.
All right, so yeah, that's a good setup. Let's go.
Have you heard of the Mountain Dew conspiracy theory?
Mountain Dew? No, I haven't.
This one's fun.
Let's hear it.
Every time Mountain Dew makes a marketing push for a new drink or a new flavor that they have, it coincides with a world event that typically isn't that great.
That's terrifying. Let's hear it.
So Mountain Dew Code Red came out in 2001.
I know what event happened then.
3 months later, after it came out, 9/11 happened.
This is not good.
Maui burst. Right after they dropped that, 3 months later, the wildfires happened in Maui.
Wow, that's crazy.
Are you ready for this one?
Ready.
The Star Spangled Splash came out last year. Do you know who wrote the Star Spangled Banner?
George Washington.
Francis Scott Key. What bridge fell last year in Baltimore? The Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Oh.
Yes!
3 months after?
That's kind of like immediately after that one. Pitch Black.
Who is that? Who is that guy?
don't
Not
know.
him. The other guy is retarded.
I don't know.
Months ago, we had a blackout in the IT world. July 19, 2024. Various IT systems around the world experienced an outage.
Mountain Dew dropped it and it went dark.
Yes. Another one. Tropical swirl. Crazy hurricanes that wouldn't end in Southeast America just a few months after they dropped that flavor.
They also,
Okay,
I
that's
just looked.
bullshit.
What do you mean that's bullshit?
Do we get hurricanes constantly?
Yeah, but those were like a bunch of them all at once.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, in
when
Asia.
has it stopped? It has not stopped in Southeast America.
Okay, just wait for the last one.
It up. They're dropping a mango rush flavor.
Yeah.
It might be a flood.
It literally might be.
And you can only get it at Little Caesars.
Ooh.
So where are the most Little Caesars, Zach?
Did you look that up?
No, but we saw one in Houston, Texas.
Oh my God!
There was a massive flood in Texas recently, and they just
There was.
dropped the mango rush.
You think it's going to be a flood in Houston, Texas?
There might be.
Mountain
there
Dew
definitely
needs-
fucking
Oh
was.
my god!
Wait.
Well, that was
But-
pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy what they just did.
What
Yeah.
happened when Mountain Dew released their drink that was named by the internet Hitler Did Nothing Wrong?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know about that? Mountain Dew created a drink that was Apple Mountain Dew, and they let the internet vote on whatever they wanted it to be. So 4chan went in there and made sure that Hitler Did Nothing Wrong won.
Oh my god!
I'm not even kidding.
The internet used to be a different place. It was. A
It
great
really
time.
was. It
But I
really
don't think
was.
they didn't officially release that because they
No,
didn't
which
have-
is
right.
what's even worse.
Yeah.
They didn't even release Apple Mountain Dew.
Well, it's
Sounds
bad.
terrible.
Yeah,
it
it's
sounds
bad.
terrible.
Tim just doesn't want swamp juice to be diluted.
No, just drink apple juice. That doesn't make sense.
Apple Mountain. There's certain
Apple
a lot
Mountain
of
Dew.
those Mountain Dews that they even named in that thing that we just watched are terrible.
Mountain Dew is citrus-like.
No wonder they
So
were a
don't
disaster.
add an apple.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know
Mountain
what to
Dew-
tell
Apple's not
you.
citrus.
It is confirmed Mountain Dew controls the weather, and with that, you
Oh,
guys
you're
have a-
thinking of
Mountain
Mountain
Dew
Dew,
Jewish
like Leighton. You're thinking of a Mountain Dew just like Leighton. He controls the weather in Alaska. That's the guy.
A
you wanna talk-
mountainous Jew.
Is a Mountain
Literally
Dew just
Moses.
with a 12 feet tall Leon Trotsky? Is that kind of the...
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hearsay, false allegations.
All right, y'all have a great night. We'll see you. Join the Discord, Real Swampcast everywhere. Go check out LP Alliance. They do all the business list stuff. If you want to see what's going on with the LP, if you
Our
wanna come
Vincent
la-
comedy.
There you go. If you want to come laugh at what's going on at the LP, we're talking about doing an LP LNC after hours. So check that out on the Sunday streams coming this weekend, and we'll talk.
I
to
will
you soon.
say this
What?
Sunday, college football extravaganza making a comeback. College football
With-
season's around the corner, so college football
With-
extravaganza. Yep,
with
college football
with or without Toad.
well, I haven't reached out to Toad yet.
You gotta call him. You gotta call him. All right. Anyway,
Gotta make it happen.
I set the grounbook. Me and Tim set this groundwork,
We
and
did.
you're dropping the ball, you little red-haired pudgy fuck.
join the Discord and tell Rob why he sucks
Yeah.
at life.
Badly wanted.
No, and also
I'm so much littler than you. I'm so,
So
much
much.
littler.
one last thing. One
What
last
do you
thing.
weigh? What do
Go
you
ahead.
weigh, Rob?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Who-
I
Go
weigh
away. What do you weigh, Rob?
125, Leighton. I weigh 125. How
Yes,
about
Kyle.
It's I don't remember anymore. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna change my guesses. I'm putting it all on Rob. So Rob's got to win the fucking races next year. I got
Come on
$5
now,
on
Rob.
Rob.
All right, so you're on Team Rob now.
All right. I'm sorry, Duke.
How
What
about
did you
Rob?
want to plug? Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, stay tuned. But CD and I might have something coming for everyone next week.
that?
Ooh, who's coming? Okay. Anyway.
Oh, we'll see. Big cliffhanger. But
That's
also,
right.
it looked to me showing up a little bit more on these Tuesdays. as
Hell
well.
yeah. Love it. Would love it. Yeah.
So,
All right. Real
Wayward,
Swampcast everywhere.
Wayward Son.